Good afternoon, y'all, and welcome to the first episode of the Doctor Who Series 12 is Crap live stream. We have several, and we got a few hundred waiting, so welcome. We're going to cover, we've already gotten some super chats, so I'm going to cover those momentarily. But first, we're going to look at our panel. All three of them are dying right now. So we'll just do this in box order. So the first one, most of you know him. He's been on my channel several times before I've been on his. He's how you doing there, Noel?
I'm doing good. Sorry.
Okay. So TARDIS Zone. I have also put two links in the descriptions. We have a couple hundred people watching. So first, subscribe to TARDIS Zone if you haven't. Noel may have to go away for a minute. So Noel, tell us what you do. What do you do?
Well, basically, I cover Doctor Who mostly, and we do have a panel after every episode airs. We do have Blue Bonnet Whovian on our panel. Starry-Eyed Girl has been on before as well. So we do have a mixed panel all the time. We discuss the episodes, and yeah, the J-bots don't like me, so yeah, that's a win-win for me. So like, yeah. So that's what I do. I do Doctor Who, and I annoy the hell out of the BBC. That's me.
And just as my phone goes off, yeah, it's a fucking telemarketer. Yeah, I allow swearing because this has probably already been demonetized anyway. And some of you may notice, surprise, you've been made moderators. Chris Persia, Noel has volunteered you. And Starry-Eyed Girl, you will be a moderator. Yeah. And I guess I should be a moderator. Oh, I'm already a moderator. Okay, so next, as we go down the boxes, so this is a YouTuber that I discovered probably about a month ago, Blue Bonnet Whovian, who has a great channel. Not a fan of the current iteration of Doctor Who, to put it mildly, but has great takes on Doctor Who. Does regular live streams. So here's what I want everybody to do. In the description, if you refresh, because I just added it, you'll see links to the TARDIS Zone and Blue Bonnet Whovian. Let's see how many subs we can get both of these fine YouTubers over our 2-hour stream. So Blue Bonnet Whovian, welcome. And because this is your first time on the channel, let everybody know who you are, what you do, all that regular fun stuff.
Okay, I just started a YouTube channel about a year ago, really doing different things. But one thing I do is I do a lot of streaming reviews. I gripe about Doctor Who quite a bit, and then I actually praise Doctor Who in the classic era. But I do different sci-fi reviews and things like that, so people don't have to watch what that's bad, or I suggest good things too. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. And Michael Richardson, congratulations! You're also a moderator. So the rule, because we've been having issues with spammers. So the rules that I'm putting out is nobody gets blocked unless you start spamming, which we will expect that to begin shortly. I know who's doing it, so fuck you. Yeah. And the only other rule is if you threaten anybody, either on the panel or in the chat, other than me, because I find it hilarious, that you'll be blocked. Say what you want about me, because honestly, it's become the high point of my day. But anyway, so Blue Bonnet Whovian, awesome. And also another one of my very good friends, Starry-Eyed Girl. This is your second time on the channel. So Starry-Eyed Girl, tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm a sci-fi fan, especially Doctor Who. I have got a YouTube channel, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I'm still thinking about it, and I know you're all keen for me to do it. Yeah, I just got on it. It was through social media. I was fed up of, where Doctor Who is going and everything else with Star Trek and Star Wars, and so I just thought I'd just start sharing my opinion, and quite a few of you agree, so that's brilliant. And I've met so many good friends. So thank you for having me on again.
And that's the good thing about YouTube. Even though what we talk is, what we talk about is not necessarily pleasant. Well, what I do, I love everything. I've never complained about anything on this channel ever. I've never yelled. I've never said dirty words. I love everything. I think the current season of Doctor Who is absolutely brilliant. I think Jodie Whittaker is perfectly
Mind
cast.
blown. Mind blown.
It's just, you know, the expressions and just the depth to the character. And we do need to be called out on our male privilege. Because, we are bastards. If you ask Twitter, Noel and I are misogynistic pieces of shit, so we need to be called out on that. So we love Series 12. We love Jodie Whittaker. And Mandeep Gill. I got to talk about the acting. Like, so much range, so much goes into that performance.
I tell you, if they did Oscars in BBC television, like, she'd definitely win an Oscar for the best plank award. Definitely. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I've never seen an actress like her before in my whole entire life. I mean, she really owns all of those scenes that she's in. I can't even.
Brilliant. I'm like,
is there an Oscar for being stupid? I mean,
well, no, I'm like, you know, look at like Tom Baker, David Tennant, Peter Capaldi. Oh my God, she blows them away. She's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Goddamn William Hartnell, you misogynistic pig from the '60s. And yes, so as people are coming in, so some of my long-term viewers, because we have had issues with spamage, are coming in. People that I know are not. Well, I'm not saying many people are. Some are. But yeah, long-term subs. You know, people that are here regularly. If you want to help us out with the chat and just get rid of some of these spammers, because it's coming shortly. And like I said, just criticism is fine. Insults at me are fine. So everybody in the chat, insult me. This will be a thing. So say something bad about the trigger train, because you all love me. But yeah, other than that, so no threatening and stuff like that. So now that we've gotten that out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we have Chris Chibnall in the chat as well.
Welcome, Chris.
We have a lot to say, Chris.
We got a lot to say. Yeah. I hope you're actually
take your notepad. Get your notepad. Get your notepad.
Chris Chibnall, he's been hanging around for a while, so we'll let him go. He's a professional troller. You suck, woke Batman. Yes. Oh, I rule. No, I said insult me. Say bad things. Come on. Okay, the best insult I get throughout this entire stream. We'll see if he can outdo what's been going on Twitter this week. Okay, so before we get into talking about how much we absolutely love Series 12, we're going to take a look at...
by the way, this rant is a rant at all these people that hate Series 12. We forgot to actually mention that, because we actually love it so much.
Oh, we do.
We just, every time she comes out, Jodie Whittaker comes on the screen, I nearly cry.
Oh no, I'm like, it's just such a work of genius. I'm like, they've
she's better than Capaldi. I mean, she steals every scene.
Well, I
she's
know,
better than Tom Baker.
Oh God,
exactly. And Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee, who said something about boobies and made the Rainbow Hate Mob angry like 40 years ago.
Bad man, bad white man.
He's terrible. Yeah, just ask Katie Manning. He's terrible.
Where's that comment?
Okay, so super chats, and then we're gonna go in and we might change our.
Yeah, listen to this before you read the super chat, because this is a good one. I like Ballstreck, but here's a good insult to him. Ballstreck is the Alex Jones of Doctor Who's criticism.
Well, thank you. I'm into conspiracy theories. Okay, so we have 3 super chats from the Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews for 2 British pounds. Hi. For 5 British pounds, worst episode of Torchwood ever, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That one is not good, but I have to say that Cyberwoman.
Oh my God! Yes,
that's up there as well.
Yes, I stopped watching. Yes, I couldn't even get through it.
And for another 5 British pounds of Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews, my parents loved Spyfall. They did not find anything woke about it. Well, there are people that enjoy it. I mean, Noel loves it, so Oh yeah, and I want to mention this one as well. Rebecca Gold. Now, if anybody is interested in seeing how to write and portray a female character properly, I highly suggest you check out Rebecca Gold. And the show's actually gotten a number of awards for for independent work recently. So also
Wow.
check out Rebecca Gold. And from the Rebecca Gold account for £5 Bolts Trek. What do you think of a fan film that throws everything that was woke back in the BBC's face? Anyone? Dude, I would love to see that. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so do
absolutely.
that. So check out Rebecca Gold from Eric
But
Judd.
it'd have to be brutal. It would have to be brutal to get
Oh,
the
would-
message across. You would have to be brutal.
Would.
No
Oh,
holds barred. Yeah, definitely.
it would
Yeah.
be brutal, and yeah, it's awesome. And actually, yeah, guys. So Chris Persia just put a link in the description for Rebecca Gold's web series. So everybody who's watching right now, click on that link. Trust me, it's worth checking out. So I'm going to show
Yeah,
Rebecca Gold. So from Eric Just for what is DKK? Is that Krona? Not sure what it is. Noel, you're my investigator guy. I know we've looked at this last time, but
Oh yeah, the
is.
DKK.
Why is it?
Is that not? Is that Dutch? No, no.
Yeah, I think it might be Dutch Cronus. I'm sure somebody will tell us.
But they know the euro. That's what I'm thinking. So that could be.
Regardless, it's how would you rate the various versions of the Master, including the ones from Big Finish, which includes the War Master. This is actually a tough one. Okay, I'm gonna address the rest of the super chats, and then maybe we'll answer this first because it does tie into this this wonderful show that we're about to review. From Garbage for £5. My money won't go to Disney Plus or to a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker viewing. Used other means. Yes, other means do exist. Now, we're not going to discuss that here because YouTube would have me shot, but I believe a few people may have done that. It doesn't go new branded logo Doctor Who. It's for you guys. So yeah, new logo branded Doctor Who. Yeah, they've bastardized the DVDs and Blu-rays. Actually, Nerdrotic, I believe, is coming up with fan art for the Blu-ray review or for the classic series Blu-ray. So as soon as those are out, I'm dumping that in the trash. And from Eric Just again for 50. I'm assuming it's Danish.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's saying in the comments.
Okay,
so.
awesome. See, old Bolstrex is the Alzheimer's, and he forgets these things. It's where my hair went. So, given what Big Finish did for Colin Baker's Doctor, which they did, if you haven't checked out Big Finish, the star of Big Finish for the past 20 years, actually 21 years now, has been Colin Baker. They completely reinvented his Doctor. Previous thought, the worst Doctor on TV. I actually... and I know Noel and I have discussed this, I actually dispute that because I like what they were doing with Colin Baker's first season, not the twin dilemma, which was tacked on at the end of Peter Davison's final season. But if you know what they were trying to do with Colin Baker, it was similar what they appeared to be trying to do, but failed miserably at with Peter Capaldi. Colin Baker originally wanted to break Tom Baker's record, so he wanted to do at least 8 series. Or, well, back then they were known as seasons. So the idea was they were going to take this Doctor on an arc. So he was going to start off as very brash, the way he was portrayed in season 22. And then he was going to mellow. So this was going to be a Doctor that we were actually going to see go on a character journey.
Oh.
And if you watch Trial of a Time Lord, even though they're not the best stories, you can see that even by his second full season, he was mellowing the character a bit. I know a lot of people consider him to be the worst Doctor, and I can understand why you do. The outfit was ridiculous, and some of the scripts he was left to work with weren't necessarily the best. But the Colin Baker that we're seeing on Big Finish, that is what Colin Baker wanted to transform his character into by the end of his run. So that was that. They've said that in interviews, but it's never been explicitly made. But the Colin Baker we hear on Big Finish is what would have been the season 7 or 8 Colin Baker. Might they do the same for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor? God, I hope not. There is a difference between Colin Baker and Jodie Whittaker. Colin Baker is a very talented actor. You watch him in other things; he does have impressive range. Jodie Whittaker doesn't. Also, if you want to get into politics, Big Finish depends on classic Who fans,
Mm-hmm.
which is why you don't really hear them talk much about the current iteration of Doctor Who at all. And Nicholas Briggs, actually, he's been up front in a podcast where he's just not going to discuss it. And the reason that he used was because he's been involved in the production. So I think Big Finish is ignoring this like the plague. Now, the previous producer of Big Finish, whose name shall remain nameless, sent out some nasty tweets to people who don't like the current version of Doctor Who, which I can imagine Nicholas Briggs, who has held his position since 2007, was probably shitting himself. So I think they will stay away from Jodie Whittaker. Out of the doctors that they have, David Tennant does one series of 3 stories a year, and they're absolutely brilliant. They have not lost their touch at all. Even the Finnish music production team, they replicate Murray Gold's score. So if you haven't gotten into Big Finish and you're looking at something to get into, check out the David Tennant stories. There are 6 of them now, and I believe another 3 are coming out later this year. Christopher Eccleston will never do Big Finish. Matt Smith, maybe at some point. Peter Capaldi, as some of you know, I actually had the honor of meeting him last August in Toronto at the Fan Expo. And
not jealous at all.
Yeah, not me either.
And it was awesome. And actually, me and my good friend Tony actually got to talk to him for a few minutes. And one of the questions that I asked was, "Do you plan on doing any Big Finish anytime soon?" And he said no, for the time being. He wants to concentrate on other things. So it's not saying that he won't do it, but he's not doing it right now. I think partly because Whittaker's in the role, and partly because we all know that he got screwed. So I can see why he'd be wanting to distance himself. And I'm going to refresh this. And I think, are we all caught up? No, we've got one more. From Cedric Taylor 08 for $2 US. Who do you think, I'm assuming that means who will you think will be the next Doctor? Oh, God. It depends on which way they go. If Chris Chibnall is still in charge, we're going to get more of the same, possibly worst. Honestly, right now...
Well, it's going to be you, Noel.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to say, because I just need to bring this up, who could be the next Doctor? Well, it mightn't be as straightforward as people are thinking, because I've heard the latest rumor is that actually Sasha is actually the Doctor and Jodie Whittaker is actually supposed to be Missy.
Yeah, I've heard this rumor as well.
Yeah, apparently
if they went that way, that would be Rise of Skywalker degree of writing to get themselves out of this mess. So Sasha definitely would do a better job as the Doctor. This is somebody that can actually act. He's not given much to work with, but if you watch some of the other things he's been in, he is a talented actor.
No, he is, yeah. And he's gotten criticism, and anybody that has actually criticized him as the Master because of his actual skin color is actually doesn't belong in this fandom, to be quite honest. And that needs to be said, because I've seen a lot of that happen, and it's totally disgraceful. And I know people are saying, well, it's more box ticking by the BBC. But here's the thing. We don't mind if they tick boxes, but if they get the people in that can actually act and can actually do something with the role that they're given, then there's no problem with that. The problem that we have is when you're box ticking and you give it to someone that's out of their league. And we'll talk about who's out of their leagues in a few minutes. But I'm just saying, I think he's a great Master. I think he would play a great Doctor. But now that he is the Master, if they were going to do this body swap or conscience or whatever it is, it's like, do you know what I'm thinking? It's like, do you remember in Human Nature, the way the Doctor's consciousness or time lordiness was in a fob watch? I think maybe that's what they're thinking with the bodies. Maybe something happened in Series 10 or something that we didn't see. That he's
it would explain why the TARDIS rejected her when she regenerated. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Or they're going down the other route, which we all think they're going down, is the future is all female. Or the past, I should say, is all
Unfortunately, female. I think that's more likely, but I'm really hoping it's the other way.
And somebody saying, Bullstreck, show your face. I don't exist. I'm actually a talking logo. If you want to see what I look like, it's all over the internet. I put my face on the channel for the first 10 years I was doing videos. Now I just like doing voiceovers. That and nobody wants to look at my balding head. On one of these streams, I will finally show I'll do a second face reveal because I haven't actually been on.
I'll tell you what you should do. Do the second face reveal when Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall are kicked out into our asses.
You could do a thing like when Kiss revealed themselves without their makeup.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show that. This is what I looked like the last time I was on camera 2 years ago, and this is where my hairline's at now, and the beard is now gray. I'm going to get a hat. I'll get one of those fancy Canadian hats. Go Canada.
Why don't you wear a mask like Doomcock? Would you not wear a mask, a Ballstreck mask or something? We could get you designing a mask. Actually, if any artists are out there, I'll just throw that out there in the live.
Actually, maybe
artists out there that'd like to design Ballstreck a mask.
You could have a wig. You could have a Batwoman wig with the red hair.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Batwoman, I could get it. No, I'm going to get a Jodie Whittaker mask. That'll be awesome.
Oh God,
I'll wear the stripes and everything. Okay, and so I'm just going to double check this. I believe we are all caught up. And we're also going to address that one question about the master while we're doing the stream, because I think that's something. While we're getting into this a little bit further, because I think that is an interesting question. But from Cedric Taylor 08, could an American play the Doctor? I'm going to say no. This has always been a British show. Doctor Who and the character, the Doctor, has always been quintessentially British. Even if it's an American with a British accent, no, the Doctor should always be played by somebody from the UK. So what do you guys think before we go into our review of Whittaker's brilliance?
Oh, I agree. It always should be British.
I agree. Yeah, I think it would lose something.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with tradition.
No, there's not. I agree. There's nothing wrong with it, and I agree with you.
It's nostalgic and it's heartwarming, and it's something about that. And it's like cozy. You know what I mean?
Yep. And only one of us actually here could be the Doctor, because only one of the four of us is in the UK. So, starry-eyed girl, you're the next Doctor.
Okay.
Right.
I've got the same accent as Jodie.
Yeah. So,
but
I can't.
You sound pleasant. When I hear you, I don't want to stab someone. So
or pull me eyeballs, or pull me ears.
I don't hate men, and I haven't got the scrunch face. I'd have to work on that.
Right. You're very pleasant.
Yeah.
So, that's.
Sorry, starry-eyed girl. Yeah, you're too pleasant to be the Doctor. You need to have that hate. So now we're gonna go around the table.
Right.
The table, the box, the screen, whatever we want to call it. So, in case you didn't guess, we were joking when we said that we actually liked Series 12. As you can tell by the name of this stream, we're less than happy about it. So what we're going to do, we're 2 episodes in, so I'm going to shut up for a little bit. And Noel, are you laughing again? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Noel is going in the corner. He's going to go last. So we're going to let the 2 ladies go first. So far, now that we've seen the reverse brilliance that is Spyfall, what do you think? I'm just going to say, what do you think of Series 12 so far? So Blue Bonnet, we'll do this alphabetically. Blue Bonnet Whovian, you get to go first. I know you're. I think I might know your thoughts on this, but maybe I'm mistaken. But we'll let you go ahead.
The first episode, the story was better, but she was annoying as shit. It was very hard for me to sit there and watch it and just, put myself in in another mindset so I could, do Tony Robbins techniques to not be annoyed by her. Especially the scene where she's running after the plane. I told my husband, I was like, I feel like I'm watching Mr. Bean in Doctor Who. Except she needs big red floppy shoes and put a clown nose and her transformation will be complete. That's what I felt. And the only time I enjoyed it is when the Master was on the screen, even before I knew he was the Master. And to me, that's not Doctor Who. When you don't actually like the Doctor on screen, it's very difficult for me to actually see even the good in it. I mean, you can, but it's like you have to set your standards so low that it's just. And in the second episode, she toned it down, but the story was just, I was bored. There was no excitement. I just felt like, unless the Master was on the screen. And like I said, he needs his own show because I would watch that. I mean, but like I said, this is called Doctor Who, not the Master. And going forward, he's not going to be in every episode. So if you think of it that way, you're like thinking, oh, great. And you see the trailer for tomorrow, it just looks like we're back to the old annoying Jodie with, I don't even know what this guy with the green hair is. I just it just makes me angry just looking at it. I like I said, I honestly just don't have any words anymore. I'm so close to just quitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and just stopping because it actually hurts to watch it. And I mean, on a level of, because this show means a lot to me, it's actually very emotionally painful at this point. But that's just my thoughts, just off the cuff.
And that's what I get from a lot of people. I to be honest, I have given up on this show. There was some cheering on Twitter about a week ago when I said I wasn't going to cover Doctor Who anymore after series 12, and my fan club said, "Oh, we've bullied Bullstruck off the internet." No, the reason why I said I was going to stop covering Doctor Who after series 12 is because I've given up on the show. There's no way I can see that we can honestly save it at this point. But then, of course, I saw my Twitter feed the next day. So my mission has changed. It's mainly now calling out the show for its bullshit. So I will continue to cover Doctor Who just for you people. So congratulations.
Yay.
Yay.
So Starry-Eyed Girl, now I'm sure that I know you just love this as well. So tell us what do you think of these brilliant 2 episodes that we've seen so far?
Okay, well, actually, I didn't think the first part was that bad. We had the pre-credit sequence, and it almost felt like Doctor Who. And then we got Yaz being the best police officer ever, despite not being there. And I just ended up rolling my eyes. And then again, I enjoyed the little car chase thing. And then as soon as we got to MI6 and that stupid line, and I was just, here we go. And everything just ground to a halt. And it just didn't need to be there. It didn't move the scene along. They were making a point. They were just trolling us. And it's really pathetic, really, to see a professional writer and actors doing that to, fans. What a waste of Stephen Fry. I mean, I've been waiting for years for him to come into Doctor Who. And at one point he was going to write a story, and then that never happened. And then we finally get him in, and it just gets to be the patriarchy, and then gets shot. And then it just all slowly went downhill until, Blue Bonnet said, when the Master was there, he was the only interesting thing in there. And the second part was just a complete mess. It just felt like Chibnall was trying to be Stephen Moffat and pack as much different timey-wimey things in as possible. And it was just, it all just went downhill until of Gallifrey being destroyed again. And I just, I was so upset. I was really angry on Sunday night when it aired, and I've spoken on Twitter about it, but it just feels like a slap in the face that everything that's come before. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, and also I've added Purple Lady and Daniel. You are also now moderators, so we're good. So I think we've got enough. So a lot of you, Noel had volunteered you, and Michael Richardson. Actually, I appreciate all the things that very kind things that you said on Twitter this week. So that's why I've made you a mod as well. And Geeky Candy is here as well. I need to have you on the channel at some point. Also, everybody, check out Geeky Candy's channel. I believe she's closing in on 5,000 subs.
Wow.
If somebody wants to put a
brilliant.
link in the description to her channel, that would be awesome. And it's funny that you pick up that line. There are some people will call it jump the shark moments, but shows where TV dies. Now, I look at Arachnids in the UK really as when, for a lot of people, that's when Doctor Who died, when we realized what we were getting into. But there were a lot of people, and I have no problems with this. There were a lot of people that were hoping that there was going to be an improvement with Series 12. There were a lot of people that were hoping that the identity politics was going to get toned down or maybe exited. And, some people were predicting this. I myself, knowing what the BBC is, and if you read the diversity and inclusion strategy, you can tell exactly where they're going. But I think that for a lot of people, Doctor Who died with that one line in Skyfall Part 1. This has been an upgrade. That was directed at all of us. What that says is everything that came before does not matter. And I had already given up on it, but I think it was with that line where I just said, to hell with this show. So now my mission is to expose what's going on, because I've been a Doctor Who fan since the classic series. One of my earliest memories is watching Destiny of the Daleks when it first aired in Canada. So I've been a fan of Doctor Who my entire life. I've been through every regeneration from Tom Baker to Peter Davison. So to say that I've given up on the show sucks, but I've given up on the show. But that doesn't mean that we're not angry over what's happened. And that's what I'm doing now. And I'm going to cover this BS. I'm going to cover toxic elements of the fan base. Now, here's something else I want to make clear. When I'm talking about fans of Series 12, I'm not calling everyone out, because not everybody that likes this show is a toxic cretin. It's perfectly fine to like something and still admit that it's not good. I've used the example of the Resident Evil movies. I love those movies, but I am fully willing to admit they are, kind of terrible. It's more of a guilty pleasure for me myself. But I've never called someone out as being a misogynist because they don't like Mila Jovovich. So,
yeah.
And I do get comments where it's, the people are presenting reasoned arguments. It's like, I like this. Okay, I have no problems with that. You are allowed to like what you want to like. It's when they start throwing insults, threats, calling us misogynists and other things. And Noel and I get this on a daily basis, so Noel will know what I'm talking about. When you swarm people, then you're a piece of shit. Now, some people will run and hide. I actually find the swarming that I've gotten recently absolutely hilarious. I open up Twitter in the morning, and it's pages and pages of absolute hate, and all these people spewing exactly the same thing. So honestly, guys, keep doing it. My goat is the talking goat is collecting some material, and at some point he's going to make a reappearance. And now that I'm done blabbering, so now we're going to talk to the biggest fan of the 13th Doctor ever, Noel. This whole thing has been a facade. He's he's just doing it for hate clicks. So Noel, tell us about your love for Jodie Whittaker.
Oh, where do I start? Okay. I didn't mind Spyfall Part 1 like a lot of fans, but when I went back and watched it a second time, I could tell why. Chris Chibnall thinks he's being clever, right? Now, we all know how bad Jodie Whittaker is, and we could all sit here all day. We could actually do a 24-hour stream of how bad Jodie Whittaker is. Look, at the end of the day, I'm sick and tired of saying how bad that woman is. But the writing, right? We have to look at the writing, and he's written 2 episodes now. Are they the best 2 episodes that he's written for Doctor Who ever? I would actually have to say yes, but that doesn't say much when you look at what he has given. Like Blue Bonnet Hoovian, you do have to lower your expectations quite a bit to kind of even try and enjoy this. But he crossed the line. There was a few times that he had a go at the fandom. Now, if I could say something to Chris Chibnall, this is what I would say to you. Is what gives you the right to complain about a show, right? No, sorry. You had the opportunity in the 80s to complain about the show. So you got that opportunity and it was okay. And nobody came out and called you a sexist, racist, bigot, or whatever it is, okay? Why is it now if we say anything about your show, that's what we are? That's the biggest question I would have. Why is it we're not allowed to complain about this, but everybody is allowed to praise this? Now, I have noticed Spyfall 1 and 2 has been overhyped. But if you break it down, the last 10 minutes of the first episode and the last 15 minutes of the second episode is what fans are talking about. They're not talking about the rest of the episode. By the way, let's talk about the fact that Lenny Henry actually killed his mother in that episode. Okay, it mightn't have been a white male this time, but it was still a toxic man, wasn't it? Killing his mother. For what? Obviously had mammy issues, but had to stick that in there. That upgrade line, have to say, disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. She is not an upgrade, right? I don't care what anybody says. She's not an upgrade. I'm sorry. She's good in Broadchurch, right? That's her level. Doctor Who's 10 times above that. She is nowhere near the level she needs to be to play that role whatsoever. And Sasha being in the role has exposed her how weak she is, because in every scene he stole it. And you know, my favourite scene was when he actually had her by the neck. I was hoping he threw her over the Eiffel Tower and the regeneration was going to happen. And I think here's the sad thing. When everybody that's watching Series 12 is actually hoping the Master actually beats the Doctor, then we know that this show has fallen. The ratings, we've seen it. By the way, the latest, for anybody that doesn't know, Rotten Tomatoes have actually taken down the audience score.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah.
Have they?
Yeah, I done a video on it last night. Someone sent me, you have to look at this. They took the audience score down, right? Because it was going down. But forget about the audience score. Look at the critics score. It's lower than Series 11 so far. The ratings, I think Gary said it, from the very first episode to the second episode of Spyfall, 57% of this fandom has walked away. Now, if that was any other show, Ballstreck and girls, you know for a fact that'd be game over for that show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, I could talk about how bad the writing was. We know that the writing is not up to standard. The only reason why I'm watching it is so I can review it, bring the panel on, and we discuss it, because it is a hot topic right now. And I am, look, it breaks me heart to say this, but I agree. Doctor Who is finished. It's gone. It's game over. It's going to be dragged through the mud for another couple of years, which is sad. And then when it does go off the air, here's the reality of the situation. There is no chance of that show being revived. None. The damage is done. I think this is the biggest damage that has been done to the show. I think someone said it's mortally wounded, and that's exactly what it is. It's never going to recover. The fandom is screwed. The show is screwed. Everybody's walking away. Even the media is starting to turn on Chris Chibnall and co. So what does that tell you? And if you've seen our interview with Jimmy Fallon, which I still haven't done the video on, but if you've seen our interview with Jimmy Fallon, again, every time she opens her mouth, I'm sorry, she really annoys me, depresses me. She just hasn't got a clue. She calls herself a Whovian. I'm sorry, Jodie Whittaker, you're not a Whovian.
How can you be a Whovian when you don't watch any of the episodes?
Yeah, she's never watched any of the episodes.
But not only that, what I would say is, you call yourself a Whovian. Okay, fair enough. Well, what you've portrayed on that screen isn't the Doctor. So what's your excuse? What's your excuse? You're a Whovian, so what's your excuse? Because no Whovian would give that level of performance that you're giving. It's actually pathetic. It actually is. She is the weak link in this, and it's being shown, because the writing, whether we like to say it or not, the writing has improved so far. Now, that could all change by tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's episode looks a bit of a joke. But so far, it is an improvement. But she's being exposed now. So there's nowhere for her to hide. And have you noticed that all the J-bots have been quiet lately since their consolidated figures came out? Because they're not as good as they thought they were going to be. This show is in serious trouble. It's in serious trouble. But we seen this last year, didn't we? We all seen this last year.
We saw it all coming.
One of us. We seen it coming. And we said it. Series 11 did the damage, right? The fans are not going to forgive and forget easy for the 2 years of abuse that they've gotten, not just off Jodie Whittaker fans, but also off the BBC and Jodie Whittaker doing that video, the interview she's done, and Chris Chibnall. Fans will not forgive. And bringing all these old villains back is a desperate attempt to try win us back. Well, I'm sorry. The fans have rejected you. So just do us a favour, Chris Chibnall. Leave. Go. Yep. It's time for him to step down. Because if he doesn't, this show's never coming back on air if it goes off air again. I'm telling you, there's no way. We'll be dead.
If he was ever a fan, he should just step down. I mean, honestly. And, you know, and that might actually, he might get forgiveness in May.
Yeah.
I admit that he needs help.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what really got me? Like everybody, Gallifrey, right? So RTD didn't have it in his original show when he brought it back, right? Moffat tries with all his might to bring it back, and then he comes back after and after 2 series gets rid of it again. Now what's he playing at? And I mean, even the way the master, I nuked Gallifrey, and there was no just didn't give a crap. I'm sorry. John Sims master gave a crap about Gallifrey, because when the doctor told him that they were all gone, he was actually devastated. So you mean to tell me he's gone from that and he's willing to go and kill his own people too? I know. There's just so much. And here, big plot hole.
And
Matrix Lord, fair play to you. Because we all forgot about that Hellbent.
Yeah, I did too, and I watched Hellbent so many times, and it didn't click with me until I heard him say that.
And fair play, so that's why I'm going to shout him out there, because fair play to him. That was a good spot, because we'd all forgotten about that. Yeah. But that just goes to show you, Chris Chibnall's not even going back. He's not even taking the time. He does not give a shit. He's trying to decanonize everything that made the show good. Seriously, Unit is gone, right? Torchwood is gone. Gallifrey is now gone, right? What else is he going to get rid of?
He's trying to destroy the past.
Is he gonna get rid of the Daleks next? We don't know. Is he going to get rid of the Cybermen now? See, this is the thing now we're all thinking. What else is he going to do? What more damage is he going to do? And why? And why? Because he was embarrassed by the show years ago. Tough. That show was loved by millions of people around the world. Yep. How dare you? Sorry, Ballstreck. I know I went on a bit of a rant there.
Oh, no. We love your rants, Noel. That's why everyone loves you. Well, I shouldn't say everyone. Many of us love Noel. Other people call Noel potty mouth names. But we love you, Noel.
Thank you.
So, let's see. My YouTube is being a pain in the ass. It actually keeps kicking me over to my second account, but we're going to just do a refresh here on Super Chats. Okay, so where did we leave off? So from Michael Draw for £2 Whatever happened to Gallifrey Falls no more? Well, I think just as we were just touching on, Chibs didn't even do his own research, so I have a feeling Chibs didn't even watch these episodes, to be honest with you. I don't think he watched Hellbent. No. Now, in all honesty, we didn't catch it either. Now, I have not watched Hellbent since it was originally aired. I have the Blu-ray, but I hate that episode and could never bring myself to rewatch it. But yeah, no, Matrix Lord 212, good catch. And Joe, we're going to have you on here at some point as well. So from Henry K for $1.99 US, thumbs up. Well, thank you very much, Henry. From Nebraska, I still can't talk. From Nebraska because for $4.99 US. Hail to you all. Thank you for being thinking critics. Well, thank you very much, my friend. And next from actually longtime viewer, Dantonian. And I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. I'm bad for that. But he's been watching my videos, I think, since I started covering the 13th Doctor 2.5 years ago. What's everyone's thoughts on the 60th anniversary, which is just 3 years away?
Oh, I've had a rumor about that. Apparently, it's going to be a multi-master story. Now, I have to stress it's rumor and speculation right now, but it's supposed to be a multi-master story instead of a multi-doctor story that they normally do for an anniversary.
Yeah, I think I've heard that too. Yeah, he says, I don't think it will make it that far, sadly. Tragic end for this show saddens me greatly. See, here's the issue. And one of the reasons why I personally have given up on Doctor Who is because we are seeing on the US side of the border in Hollywood, we are seeing a shift in terms of wokeness. Star Wars is an excellent example of that, where Rise of Skywalker was a disaster, but wokeness was not a problem in this movie. The wokeness was a hangover from The Last Jedi. The Mandalorian is another example. Disney, I think they've seen the error of their ways and they're trying to turn it around. Not a great show. There's the minor wokeness, but generally pretty good. Ironically, the Ghostbusters trailer for Afterlife, largely devoid of wokeness. And I think it's ironic that it was Ghostbusters that started this whole thing in the first place.
I know.
And with Hollywood, ultimately, these are private companies, so they have to turn a profit. And there's been more than enough evidence in 2019 where look at all the movies that have flopped because of wokeness. So I think on the US and Canadian side of the border, because a lot of the stuff is actually shot in Canada, I don't think anything will get quite back to where it was, but I think we will see a turnaround. Doctor Who, and this is why I don't think it will be canceled, unless the license fee gets canceled, is a completely different story. Whereas, and I think somebody had sent a chat, or I think it was Dr. 14 Blu-ray Reviews actually sent a chat or oh yeah, it's right here. My father cannot cancel his TV license. Sorry. And that's part of the thing. If Starry-Eyed Girl, correct me if I'm wrong. You don't need do you need a license fee to watch Sky?
I'm not sure. Actually,
Yeah.
I off Sky.
Okay. Yeah. But I know if you want to watch.
Might know in the chat.
Yeah. But I know definitely BBC and I believe Channel 4 and ITV, if you want to watch any of these shows, you have to pay the license fee. And that's why Doctor Who can continue going the way it's going. And that's why it can get away with literally insulting the fan base, the entire original fan base.
If I'm correct in saying, though, I think you don't have to pay, I don't think you pay a TV license if you watch it on catch-up, though, or something.
Is it only if you watch live TV?
I think live TV and I think the iPlayer is covered under that as well. I know Netflix, as far as that, streaming services aren't covered. But other than the only way you would see Doctor Who get canceled is A, the license fee gets refunded, or B,
what if the ratings go down so low, though? But what if the ratings go down so low? Because I know people are saying BBC won't do anything, but I made the point on my stream that if the ratings go down to a certain level, they've lost 57% of their audience now. If they were to lose over 60%, 65%, BBC would have to start taking notice. A show cannot survive with 75% of its audience walking away, though. Yeah. I mean, if we were to call for a boycott and actually people do actually, boycott the show, and I see someone saying there that ratings mean jack crap. They do actually. That's the thing. People actually say ratings don't mean that. They do actually mean something.
They mean something over here because that's all we have.
BBC take those ratings serious. Why do you think there was articles last year, Jordan Series 11, where they were actually saying that some people within the BBC weren't happy with the ratings? Overnights and the consolidated figures all count. They take them all into consideration. So the thing about it is, I think if we got enough people to boycott this, if they lost enough of their audience, they would have to act. They'd have to make a decision because they cannot afford to lose any more money. Because I did another video, BBC Studios has actually lost money because they're relying on Doctor Who, Top Gear, all the old IPs, and they're not performing well. Top Gear, sure, it's going through its own turbulent situation because after they got rid of the three main presenters, they haven't been able to keep down presenters that the public like. So that show is on its last legs. Doctor Who's on its last legs and it's actually lost money. So if it continues to lose money, they have to do something. I don't believe this whole thing. There's nothing we can do. I'm sorry. I think if enough people were to turn off their TVs and not watch, as someone said, straight Dancing on Ice is on at the same time. Go and watch Dancing on Ice. You know what I mean? Just for the don't watch Doctor Who.
Yeah.
If ratings don't matter, then why has there been such a celebration about the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special?
Exactly.
It's broken records.
Exactly. And BBC Studios were the ones that our press office announced it because ratings mean a lot. And Doctor Who is not a ratings hit like it used to be. And it's sad to see. It got beaten by... People need to get this into perspective. It got beaten by Emmerdale. That's a soap, you idiots. Emmerdale. It should be beating Emmerdale. It should be in the top two at least. It should be one of the top two shows. Definitely the top show anyway. It's their biggest one, but it's not. It's sad to see. People really need, and you'll get all these defenders of it, and then people say, well, I'm spinning it for my own benefit. I'm not. I'm looking at cold, hard facts here. 50% of the audience is gone, right? That doesn't happen because the show is great, right? There's something wrong. BBC need to address it, but they will eventually, if I feel, if enough people turn off, and they seem to be turning off week by week. We're only second week in, and they've lost another 300,000 to the first episode. If that trend continues, we're looking at a series that will end under 3 million. We'll see the series end under 3 million. There's no way BBC will be happy with that. There'll be decisions made, I'm telling you. There'll be decisions made whether Jodie will be made a scapegoat or whether Chris Chibnall will be sacked as well. The two of them will be sacked. But I've got a feeling that Jodie will be the one that will be sacrificed, and they'll keep Chris Chibnall and hope that it gets better. But he's the main problem.
Yeah. Not only that, the merchandise is just nobody's buying it. I mean, I go in stores here, and it's like it's even the not Jodie Whittaker stuff, even the David Tennant and Matt Smith stuff is marked down in Hot Topic.
Yeah, same.
Because I bought items that were like $2 and $3.
Here's one: the Doctor Who annual for 2020 in here, Dublin. I put a photograph up. I took a photograph up.
Yeah.
Of it. €2.
Yeah.
€2. Now, for anybody, that's probably less than $2. And probably less than £2, right? So that is actually, and it's only out a couple of weeks, and it's already selling for £2. When you put her face on that, and whether her fans like her or not, they're losing. The company.
Not only that, if you put the logo on it, if you put her logo on it, people will not buy. And I don't like that logo. I hate it. I wish I could scrape it off boxes.
I do agree. It's finished. It's finished. I think it's gone.
It's also been shown. Doctor Who magazine. The sales go down if it's got her face on the cover.
Exactly. Yeah. I just don't see. See. Here's the thing. As Baldstreck said, the TV license issue is a big thing. If the TV license was taken away, then BBC would be more vulnerable. But I think they're vulnerable right now because they've been getting attacked for the last couple of months. Now they're attacking their so-called flagship show in Doctor Who. I remember as well, Dracula didn't do too well, but then Dracula then got the catch-up views and actually beat Doctor Who as well. So that has to be taken into consideration. See, and it's been beaten by Dancing on Ice. Now that's a third show on ITV, and it's been struggling for the last couple of years, and that's even beating Doctor Who. I'm sorry, these people need to take stock. And if Piers Wenger is listening, mate, listen, make the decision that needs to be made, because if you keep this up, there will be no show for you, and you won't have a cash cow anymore. You know what I mean? And then you will lose more money, and then BBC Studios will be in trouble. So, because fans will not forgive. Fans are not forgiven over Series 11 and all the rhetoric. It doesn't matter if Series 12 is good. It could be as good as it can be. Fans have turned away. and they've proven it. And by the way, the third episode, Orphan 55, stupid name for starters anyway. And then we see your man from the In-Betweeners with a bleeding green
Oh
wig.
God, yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
like
very very
Paradise
pronoun.
Towers.
That's
Very
the word that comes
Paradise
to mind.
Towers kind of feel to it or something.
I get more like this is may get political. I don't know why I get that. I guess the green hair and he kind of I don't know, like he doesn't sure like what pronoun to call him. That's the feeling I get, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh God.
Oh, you could be right though. It's Chris Chibnall and he's writing to him.
Yeah, and I think that after I saw that trailer, my ranting really began.
Yep.
For like a week straight.
Okay.
And actually, I have a question for Blue Bonnet Hoovian as well, because we have a slightly different experience because we're obviously on this side of the ocean. And a few people have actually noted in the chat how I'm in Canada and Doctor Who it's no longer a thing here. It was now caught on here a little bit earlier than it did in the US because we got the series beginning with Christopher Eccleston. But I know in the US it really exploded during the Matt Smith years. Now, it used to be a regular thing. You could talk to people about Doctor Who. Everybody I knew watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
I am literally the only person I know that watches it. Have you noticed the same thing where you are?
Yes and no. The odd thing is everywhere I go, I have a Doctor Who purse. I have a lot of merchandise. And so when I go to get my hair cut or massage, I meet Whovians everywhere. The thing is, though, they haven't watched this series. It's all pre Jodie, but they really like the show. And the other aspect is, and you do get people that are like, I put a poster in my office at work, and one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, that's a cool poster," and I said, "Well, I got an extra one." She goes, "Well, you could try to sell it. Do you really think people would buy that?" So that kind of like, do people really watch that show? So that kind of tells you that people aren't open to it. And I don't know if they've seen the trailer and they're just like, wow, nobody watches that. You know, it's kind of the attitude that I get where before when it was Peter Capaldi or the other doctors, people were more interested and they seemed more like open to it.
Yeah, it feels like we've gone back in time to when it wasn't cool to like Doctor Who.
Right. Yeah. That's when she said that to me, that's the feeling I got. And she kind of chuckled like, oh, do people really watch that anymore?
Yeah, it's kind of like back into the Stone Ages where, Star Trek went through that too, where there was a time when it wasn't like being a Doctor Who fan in the 90s or even though I like the way it ended, especially during the Sylvester McCoy era. But I think it's different right now where it's not only is it not cool to be a Doctor Who fan, it's, when we're going back to, say, the 90s or the wilderness period, it wasn't cool to like Doctor Who, but it was our thing. It was something that we had passion about. I don't get a lot of that from the current iteration of the show, where it's, there's no cool factor to the show at all, unless I'm not speaking, of course, to those that genuinely enjoy it and aren't jerks, but there isn't much. The motivating factor. What is the motivating factor for liking this show in 2020? We all know what that is, and it sucks, but that's where it's come from. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, ladies. I've done enough.
Go ahead, sorry, girl.
It's it's the platform, and if you don't like this, then you're not cool. You're not on the trend. It isn't what it used to be. It isn't an entertainment show anymore.
No.
It's a political manifesto.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, it's like if Chris Chibnall, if there was an award for politically driven shows, he'd actually win an Oscar because I think Series 11 is the finest piece of propaganda that's ever been written. If you look at it from that point of view, for Doctor Who, it's nowhere near the standard it needs to be.
And what's scary about it is it influences people and people buy into it. That's what's scary.
Yeah. And then you see the reaction And Ballstreck has got I say you two girls have probably got a bit of stick as well. You see it, it's exposed the ugliness of the fandom shows on Twitter a lot, show themselves on Twitter a lot. And it does, Doctor Who's become radicalized, I think. I think as well, even some of these J-bots, as we call them, they're very radicalized. They just, and for them, it's not about story arcs or character arcs. It's just what kind of representation is in there for them. You know what I mean? And that's not what I don't mind. But if those characters were actually given something interesting to do, we wouldn't care. But the fact is, they don't. And that's another thing that Chris Chibnall has actually been recently criticised about. His treatment of LGBTQ, I can never get that right, plus characters. He brings them in and then kills them off straight away. Now, I know the media is going at that angle. We know there's a bigger problem, but it's at least the media are starting to pick up on things that we've been speaking about since last year. Well, actually, no, we've been speaking about even before Jodie was on screen because of all the rhetoric that was coming out and a lot of people seeing this coming. But
again, it's never enough for these people. It's now people are complaining because I guess it's not woke enough. That this series is not woke enough yet, and it's so. I mean, what do you want? I mean, I guess everyone needs to be. I mean, nothing against transgender people. My cousin is that way. I have nothing against that. But I guess if they want everybody, just everyone represented, everybody, every pronoun. I mean. When does it end? When does the craziness end?
But you can't stick. See, here's the problem, and this is what these people need to realize. All these fans, you can't fit all of these characters and all of these that you want into one show. You know what I mean? It's impossible.
It is
because you start doing that, then you see the result. I mean, Chris Chibnall doesn't treat these characters very well. RTD had great respect for them. Even Stephen Moffat. Do you know what I mean?
He did it in a way that pleased everyone.
Yes.
And I think that was I mean, that's the difference.
Where Chris Chibnall, it just looks like and it is. It's a fact. He's just sticking them in. That's the box ticked. Right. Let's kill it. Let's kill them off.
Can you imagine how Chris Chibnall would have wrote Jack Harkness?
God.
Oh,
get away. Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry, but I mean, that's
he did.
When I'm watching
because he did.
He wrote some of the worst Torchwood episodes.
He did.
Right, but I mean, Doctor Who though. But I mean, Doctor Who though, like in that I guess that's what I was trying to,
Yeah.
Like if he was the showrunner during that time.
Oh God.
I mean, I guess it would have been okay, but.
I don't know where his ideology, where it started, if he was always like that, but a lot of it is Chris Chibnall, a lot of it is Jodie Whittaker, but a lot of it is also the BBC. Because if you look at Stephen Moffat's tenure, the tone of his final two seasons or series were completely different from the first four. That's when everything started to be shoved in your face. So it was a change with the BBC. And I think the BBC chose, there's so many different stories as to how Chibs got the job. But my theory is they wanted to push a very clear agenda because this was right after the inclusion strategy went into effect. So they wanted to pick somebody that would fully run with their agenda. So if Chibs had been showrunner during the RTD era, the show wouldn't have made it out of the David Tennant years because politics aside, he can't run a show. He can't write. His if you compare him to Stephen Moffat, you look at Stephen Moffat's scripts before he became showrunner. It's a list of some of the best episodes in Doctor Who history. If you look at Chib's 5 episodes, they are terrible to forgettable. So that should have been the indication right there. And I'm just going to catch up on super chats here because we're running a little bit behind on these. And my computer is YouTube is just being weird today. It keeps kicking me back to my other account. Okay, here we go.
That happened to me as well. Listen, last night I was streaming. Was I streaming last night? Yeah. and I kept trying to open another window, and it was actually kicking me out of StreamYard.
It's whenever wacky things go on with YouTube, it means they're planning something. From Eris of Chaos. So for $10 Starry, you're doing wonderful. You are, and we love you, Starry-eyed girl. And Bulls Trek, you were my first fandom menace YouTuber. I guess I started calling this stuff out back in 2017, and I don't want to say that I was right, but go back to the timestamps on those videos. I predicted exactly what was going to happen, and that's what happened. It just ended up being worse than I had predicted. I had to know I wasn't crazy after watching the first episode of Series 11. You're awesome. Well, thank you very much, my friend. For $2, message has been deleted, but from Dr. 14 Blu-ray Reviews, that may have been YouTube. Depending on what the message is, they're a little tetchy when it comes to super chats. But yeah, if there was a question, just drop it down in the regular chat, and we'll try and answer it. From Cedric Taylor 08, once again for $5. Now a woman played the master, and she scared me. So why didn't this work? Comes down to the actress, Michelle Gomez. As a person, is completely batshit crazy. If you watch anything else she's been in her interviews, she's nuts. Like, that was perfect casting. So you're looking at good casting versus I'm just going to pick somebody from my other show who shares my ideology casting. From Privacy Seeker for $25. I was wondering if the current Doctor will be linked to the ancient matriarchy of early Gallifrey, the followers of Pythia, before they were overthrown by the toxic male Rassilon. Chips probably wouldn't understand it, but yes, I don't know.
I think that's exactly what they're going to do. There was a novel called Lumbarrow. Have you read that one? And that's where that came from. And and I reckon that is exactly what he's going to do, because he hasn't got that imagination.
Well, if he's on here, he's going to be getting his notepad out ready. He's writing down what you're saying, Starry-eyed girl, because you know he's a hack and a fraud.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. It's well, when I finish with the super chat, we're actually going to touch on briefly his obvious attempt at future rewriting history. But okay, so we have from Henry K. Once again, thank you very much, my friend, for $5. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much, and that applies to everyone here. Once again, from Matt G. for $5. I didn't mind the Master that much. No, he was one of the few high points. One of the only high points. I'm shocked they gender swapped him back to male when the Doctor is now female. Well, if you look at it, the Master is supposed to be a villain, so from that perspective, it does make sense. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Why did Chibs gender reswap the Master?
Honestly, I think it was just the tick boxes, but the fact that Sasha actually wanted to work on Doctor Who before he decided to be good casting, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, he's wanted to be part of it for a long time. Didn't he have an audition to be the Doctor as well?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
I think during the 12th Doctor casting.
Yeah. So I think he was just cast because he wanted to be in it before, and at the same time then, BBC could tick those boxes, because they have to keep ticking them. End of 2020 is when they're going to be judged now on all this, see how far they've actually gotten. So
I think they wanted to bring him back, turn him back male, because they wanted to kind of hopefully bring us back in. They thought that might appease us a little bit,
that's
possibly.
Good point.
I mean, probably a little bit of all of it, but
good point.
I mean, just like bringing back the villains.
Yeah, I've seen that too. But the question I have, if you're trying to bring old fans back, then why did you insert that line that directly insulted the fans in the show's history?
Because they're still trying to pander to the J-bots.
Well done.
They're still trying to do that.
Yeah,
See,
it's like a dog chasing its tail. He has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, I think what's happened is that BBC and Chibnall have actually dug in so far that they can't be seen to be pandering to the classic fans now. Because they've been pandering to the other side for so long now that they're already starting to turn on them anyway, because it's been less. Let's be honest, they have toned a lot of it down. It's still not good enough.
No.
But he does have his pops. He's like Moffat, right? He can be a petulant little child, but I think Chris Chibnall's worse, because even though Moffat was angry with fans, he respected Doctor Who, right? And he wouldn't do anything that would mortally wound the show. Chris Chibnall's a different story. He does not care anymore. So he doesn't care what he does with this show. And to be quite honest with you, you're gonna say, if you think that upgrade and the other couple of lines that she said is gonna be it, no, you're all right. Everybody that said she was gonna double down, triple down, gonna be true, but they're gonna do it in a way where it's less obvious. Oh, we'll get it because it's aimed at us and we'll know. But for everybody else, they'll be oblivious of it. You know what I mean? And no, I'm dreading tomorrow.
I do think the new episode is going to be an SJW fest.
We'll see.
I really do.
Here, but what happens if it's actually better than Spyfall 1 and 2?
I just can't see that novel. I just can't, just from the trailer. I mean, it's not very long, but it's enough to where I'm like, why does this guy have, I just don't.
Yeah. By the way, did anybody notice in Spyfall that the library in Silence in the Library was actually in that episode? When Jodie Whittaker is walking up those steps, it's the library from the library.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't notice that either.
I don't want to have to watch it again to see that, but I'll take your word for it.
Also, there's a house in the episode as well. It's the same house that they use where Mycroft, where what's his name? Not Sherlock, the other fella, Watson. Dr. Watson went to visit Mycroft. They use that building as well.
Oh, okay.
So they're
yes, they do. You do use that.
They're using a few old filming sites as well. I've noticed, which is I don't know where this is gonna go. It scares me.
Can we talk about how the companions are so awful that they ditched them for part 2 and got 2 new companions?
Oh man,
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, it's they got all defensive. I'm like, how can it get much worse? Well, except for poor Graham. I feel bad for Graham.
Yeah, I mean he can stay, but the rest of them all need to go.
It's so ironic that he was obviously put there to be this bumbling.
Yeah, and he's turned out to be the most lovable character.
He's light.
He is.
He's the only, other than him and the Master, he's not the only one holding me to watching it.
Yeah, he's turned out to be the most lovable character. And I remember at the time, and I actually have to apologise, but I have months ago, but I'll do it. Last year I apologised, but I was actually kind of mad when he was cast, because I was like, an older companion with a female doctor, I don't see it. Because I think he was the first one to be actually announced. The others weren't announced yet, so I didn't know they were going to bring in.
He was rumored first, but they were all announced at the same time.
Oh, were they? Okay, well then there you go.
You know why he got picked, don't you? Because he used to work on Law and Order.
Yeah, Law and Order. Yeah, Chibnall's mate. Yeah. Same with Jodie Whittaker.
He chooses all his friends, but that one was a good one. That was a good choice.
Yeah, that was a good choice. Yeah, he should have been the Doctor.
I mean, he would have been good. I mean, I would have preferred someone else, but compared to her, yeah, he'd be great.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, that's sad, because if we look at it, if we were to put on air Doctor Who hats from 2007, actually, he wouldn't even come into our consciousness as the Doctor.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why our standards have gone so low.
I know. Yeah.
And the more I think about it, my blood pressure goes up.
That's what I mean. It's sad. We're actually willing to compromise on a bit, just to get, what I mean? It's wrong. And I hear, and I've seen it as well in the live chat here, and I want to bring that up. I've seen a lot of fans say, well, let's have a spin-off. Well, I'm sorry, but here's the thing. why ask them to do a spin-off if they can't get the main show right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why
The only
should
way-
we, as fans, substitute? We love Doctor Who. We want Doctor Who to be good. So why not put all your time and effort into making Doctor Who good and forget about a spin-off? When Doctor Who becomes great again, that's when you do the spin-offs then, and you build the universe. Okay, you don't do it the other way around. The show's doing bad, so you bring back Torchwood, or you do a unit spin-off. It's not, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. The main show is what we're focused on. And then after that, then do your spin-offs. Like they did, like RTD did.
Yeah.
Right? He did it right. He had Doctor Who, that was successful, and then he brought out Torchwood. That's how you do
but
it.
would you be okay if like Big Finish was involved and they kind of did their own television, like Nicholas Briggs was kind of creating something? I mean, would you be more apt to watch it if they were involved in doing their own spinoff and then, put Doctor Who on hiatus and then let them do their thing? And
Um,
Oh, and I just noticed Critical Drinker is here as well. Hello, my friend. He's in the chat.
Oh, cool.
hi,
hello.
Critical Drinker.
Hello.
hello.
See, that's a hard one for me because for me, my heart has always been with Doctor Who. Don't get me wrong.
I feel
do
the same way.
I do like Torchwood. I'm not gonna lie, but
What I would like to see is an Eighth Doctor Adventures spinoff.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, if
A
they
lot of
did
people-
that,
That's what I'm talking about.
But if Chibnall had anything to do with it, then
No. Nicholas
No.
Briggs, Big Finish.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
if
Just
he
did
was,
television. I would be there in front of the screen, and then
well,
then
Big Finish is actually making a show of the main show right now. You know what I mean? They should be embarrassed, the BBC.
oh no,
it's not
that
Big
they
Finish.
should be embarrassed. But if they got into television and they did it right, oh boy,
I don't think the BBC would let them because of that
Probably
reason.
not.
Because
Green.
yeah, I mean the Big Finish figures that have come out are all selling out.
Yeah.
I know I can't get my hands on one.
Yeah, it's putting Doctor Who merch to shame.
It is, and that's the sad thing. But
The
that's
only-
how far.
The only
it's
thing
fallen.
about those is it has the logo, and that's the only thing I fault them on. They should
Yeah.
put the traditional. If it's a classic character, they need to put the classic logo.
Yeah, but they say it's for I think they say it's for logistic reason. It's not the right word. It's just like it's less expensive.
Yeah, I'll be
to
taking those out of the
do it that
box.
way.
I'll be
But
taking
I
those out.
disagree.
Yeah.
Look, the classic logo for me, and you see it on my mug there. Oh, I'll just show people my mug. Hold on.
It is a nice mug.
Show it
It's a
again.
lovely mug.
There's
Where
the Daleks, right?
Mhm.
And then we've got the TARDIS there. Old Doctor Who logo. But look at that logo. That's what it's all
I
about.
love
That's
that
Doctor
logo.
Who.
Yeah.
That is my favorite
that
logo.
logo.
And you
Yeah.
know what? They should never actually, even when they brought the show back, they should never have changed that logo.
No,
There's nothing
I-
wrong with that logo. They could have updated it
I
a little
agree.
bit, but they should have kept that logo. That's the logo, fans' favorite logo.
Again,
There you go.
tradition. Nothing wrong with it.
And there you go, Cyberman, the last one. So that's me.
I love the Cyberman one. I love that. I need a poster of that.
Oh, and Drinker, you're still in the stream. I just sent you a message on Twitter. And Noel's mug is very, very pretty.
Thank you.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, I think we were still behind on a couple super chats. I'm just going to catch these up quickly. Okay, so didn't mind Master much. So from Cedric Taylor 08 for $2 US, we need a Tom Baker now. We do, but we don't. The problem is you could have a great actor, but they would be wasted on this iteration of Doctor Who.
Yes.
From once again from Nebraska, because where do I find Starry Eyed Girl's channel? Well, we've been Starry Eyed Girl. You need to set up your channel.
I do. It's really funny because I've only set it up to get StreamYard, and I've already got 8 subscribers, and I haven't done anything.
So the question is, it's a work in progress, but it will be.
It's
there
a work in
eventually.
progress. Yeah.
And,
But you can find me on Twitter.
Yeah, actually, so just look up Starry Eyed Girl on Twitter. It's actually a lot of awesome insights into Doctor Who.
It really
other
is.
things.
Thank you.
Actually, one of my mods, do you want to put, just do us a favor and put Starry Eyed Girl's Twitter link in the chat? And there we go. And sorry, I'm just doing multiple things here at once. And once again, from Doctor Who 14, or from the Doctor 14 Blu-ray reviews, once again for £5 best location filming for Spyfall was Barry Town Center. Those Starry-Eyed Girl, do you know where that is?
Yeah, it's a town in England. I was told, I was just laughing at the San Francisco, Sheffield, and
that's exciting.
Actually, interesting question, because this has popped up a couple of times, and I think this needs to be addressed. Do you think Chris Chibnall has blown his budget on the first 2 episodes? Because look at all the different locations that they actually filmed in. I mean, in the 1 episode alone, wasn't there 4 different locations, 5 different locations?
Just for a few seconds on some of them.
That's what I mean. Is people not worried because all that, I mean, I know it's only a couple of seconds on tape or on film, but think about they would have been there for days at each location.
I don't even see why that was so important for those clips anyway. It was like,
and I mean, we got to see them in South Africa, right? I remember they took that photograph of them all stand where Tolson is checking out Jodie Whittaker, might I add.
My video went over so well for that. The goat had 8 channels dedicated to him.
Yeah, I remember that. That video did kick up such a storm for what? Because but she was Manip was being Manip. Jodie Whittaker coming to work in it too. Bradley Walsh just looking confused, doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And then of course Tolson checking her out. There, giving her the eyeball.
Male gazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a no. Don't do that.
That's what we get accused of, Ballstrek, because we're white males. We get accused of all that.
I can't gaze at anybody. I'm just a talking logo.
I love it.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to touch on. So, the end of Spyfall Part 2.
Right.
So, Chibs is... We don't know what he's doing. We could guess, but the Time Lords are not Time Lords. So we'll go around and see what everybody's thoughts are on this and your predictions. So we'll start. Noel gets to go last. Sorry, Noel. So we'll start with Blue Bonnet Hoovian. So where do you think Chibs is going with this, where the Time Lords are not the Time Lords?
I mean, with him, who knows? I mean, it could be something totally like, I don't know. It could be a parallel universe. I don't know. As far as, are you talking about Gallifrey being destroyed? The ending?
Gallifrey being destroyed. And then there's the line where the master says, everything you know is a lie.
Oh, you're talking about the possible decanonization.
Yeah, the possible decanonization of the show.
It's looking more that way. I mean, I hate to say that, and I really hope it isn't, because I think people will be burning their televisions. And I think I did a video on that myself about it, and I would stop immediately watching it. I would, but it looks like it's, when he mentions the timeless child and all that, and then finding out the timeless child's a female, that makes me very leery about what he's going to do. I really hope he doesn't go that way. But Chibnall's not very smart. And apparently he doesn't read, bad press or what we think. So he'll probably go on with it. And if he does, it really will be the end of Doctor Who.
Well, there is that rumor as well, which I think it was actually Doomcock that broke it first, that the Doctor's regeneration cycle is going to be decanonized and rewritten to the point where the original 13 regeneration cycle wasn't actually the Doctor's first regeneration cycle, and the cycle before that was all female. So that's a rumor that's been going around. So
Right,
he's
it
going to
has.
be canonizing that there as well. I don't know, Starry-Eyed Girl, what do you think? What's going to do to our beloved Gallifrey
Oh,
other than
God.
destroy it?
Well, it's so weird that we've even got to talk about this. A few years ago, I'd have said no, it wouldn't have the nerve. But then, you know, we've watched Luke Skywalker get destroyed, and, you know, Spock in Star Trek Discovery. And yeah, so I believe he could do it. I think he will, just for the sensationalism of it. I've got a pretty strong feeling that we're going to see the Time Lords back, and yeah, they're going to be put in their place. The Timeless Child, it'll be some girl who's had the power, and, you know, Omega and Rassilon have stolen this power from her, and I can totally see him doing it. It's gonna be awful.
Because Chibnall's all about destroying the past.
Yep.
Yes.
It's Timeless Child. Yeah, it's going to be Whittaker, and we're going to completely remove the 13 male incarnations, and then we're going to introduce the first incarnation. But yes, Spork, I'm assuming you're talking about the short trek where he breaks into song. Oh God, that was bad.
Yes.
Noel, I know you've talked about this too, but what's this whole everything you know is a lie bullshit about?
I agree with everybody on the panel. I think he's going to decanonize the past, or retcon the past, as they call it. I think that has been his plan from the get-go. Now, the latest, even the newspapers are actually speculating on this, is that we probably won't see a resolution to the whole Timeless Child storyline. We might actually see it in Series 13 as well. So if he's going to do this, he's going to drag it out, obviously. It doesn't sit well with me because we've already seen what he's done in the past. And he thinks, see, here's the thing. He's got such a big ego. He thinks what he's doing here is actually very clever. Now, he mightn't do what we think he's going to do, and he might get out of it. But the fact that he'd even go down that direction, and the Timeless Child is female. I've managed to get people send me screenshots of actually the little flashback, and someone has gotten a still to it. It's definitely a female. So they're probably going to go down that route, but I'm just hoping and praying that he doesn't do it. But this is Chris Chibnall, so I'm angry. I'm gone past the point of being angry. I was angry after that episode. I mean, I called him every name under the sun. I'm not proud of it, but it really got to me. Like Moffat spent all this time bringing Gallifrey back just for him to destroy it again. And it's that line, Ballstrick, that you mentioned, the master saying to the Doctor, everything you've came to know is a lie. That's what scares me. That line should scare everybody right now, because he is basically letting us know that this is a possibility. That's what he's doing right there. So if he does it, it's the end of Doctor Who as we know it anyway. But for me, that's he's already crossed the line, but you could still win me back. Not Chris Chibnall, but if BBC were to get a new showrunner and actually do it properly, they could win me back as a fan, because I do love the show that much. But if he does this, I'm done. It doesn't matter who they bring in after him. I'm done. And it's sad to say, 40 years of age of being watching this show since I'm a kid. That's over like 35 years, say 35 years watching this show. And I'm about to turn me back on it. I never thought I'd do that. And this is what these fans don't get. See, these Jodie Whittaker fans will say, you are new to the fandom. You don't get it. You aren't emotionally invested like me. You haven't spent as much money. And it's not even about the money even, but it's the emotional attachment that we have to these characters, and to watch them one by one to be struck off, and everything that we love about Doctor Who, Unit, Torchwood. We got to love Torchwood in the new era. That was, we might as well say, the modern unit, even though they did end up bringing unit back. But you know what I mean at the time. So
Yeah.
it's just such a shame. It's shambles right now, and these people are patting themselves on the back and think that they do great work. Do you know what I mean? Jodie Whittaker again, like talking about how the comment that really annoyed me about her, and I will do this in the video, but she turned around and says something along the lines of Jimmy Fallon asked her, do you have to go back and watch the show or something, iterations of the show? And she said, no, that's what's great about Doctor Who.
That's not what's great about Doctor Who.
I know, yeah. It's all about inclusivity and all this crap. This is what she started going on about, and I was like, and I'm a Whovian now, but I haven't really watched it that much. So she contradicted herself. I'm a Whovian.
You can't be a Whovian if you haven't watched it.
And I was like, is she for real? And this is why I don't. This is why. Look at if none of this rhetoric came out, would I be as critical as I am now? No, but I'd still be angry at the fact that the writing's not up to scratch. And let's remember, under Moffat, the writing did get a bit weary. And that was the only problem with the show back then. It was just the writing. Now there's so many different issues with the show, and Chris Chibnall's only been in the job how long? And how long Morrissey's supposed to be in the job?
It's been in March. It'll be 4 years since.
There you go. And there will be no show by the time he's finished.
Well, here's an idea.
That's what he wants to do.
If everybody, and yes, I am trying to pay attention to the regular chat. Matthew Pounder says, it'll probably lead up to the 60th anniversary show. Whittaker teaming up with the past female incarnations. I could see that happening.
Nice.
Well, we've already turned off by then, so
yeah.
It's just
that would be the final nail in the coffin. That would be like really slapping us in the face with that.
Well, I don't think we've seen the worst of it this year.
No.
Although next week's episode is written by our friend that wrote "It Takes You Away" last year.
Oh, that's what's gonna suck.
What's that? I'm going to go on my rant, which I've done many times. Why can't I remember his name? I've used it as a swear word.
Heim or something.
Ed Heim. Ed Heim.
Oh, Ed Heim. Yes. So Ed Heim. Yeah. Okay. So
Ed Hyman.
I was going to say the same thing. Oh my God.
Well, some people will know that it's very. I've said this before, but it's very rare. Like Doctor Who, just TV will annoy me, but it's very often that it makes me genuinely angry. It Takes You Away is probably the one time that I haven't been annoyed, but I've been genuinely angry with Doctor Who. This piece of shit, and I'm saying this as somebody that doesn't have kids, so I have no stake in this argument. But this piece of shit wrote an entire episode based around the idea of attacking single fathers, and then at the end he gives us the fucking talking frog. I'm like, Jesus Christ! So this wing bat is what is that trailer for what we're going to get next week. Like, it's Jesus Christ. So yeah, maybe that will be the bottom out, but I don't think so because I believe all the ideologues are sprinkled in the middle of the series. But Jesus Christ! So
well, that explains the green hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone wrote up a comment about Donna Noble. Donna Noble was more of a doctor than bleeding Jodie Whittaker ever was.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah. And I tell you one thing, if you were going to go down the actress route, and if she was one of the names for the doctor, I would have no problem with her because she actually is a talented actress. Now, I'd still have me belief that it should be a male role, but I wouldn't be as critical because I know she would put her heart and soul into the role. Well, how I feel about Jodie Whittaker is she doesn't put her heart and soul into it. She's just copying other people and doing it poorly.
Yep.
Dr. Donna. All live the Dr. Donna. We love the Dr. Donna. And she even made a comment in a little video herself. She was asked a question by an Irish guy when she was over here, a little kid. And he asked her the question about Jodie Whittaker. And she goes, well, you know, I was the first official doctor. I was the Dr. Donna, so I was the first official doctor. And everybody clapped. There was no bills, no nothing. Everybody clapped because everybody took Catherine Tate into their hearts. Now I know there's some fans out there that don't like her, but they're not that critical of her. You know what I mean?
No.
Jodie Whittaker, and here's another thing as well. She keeps talking. She said in the interview as well, guys. Right? She said in the interview that she has felt so welcomed by this fandom, and that we have taken her into our hearts. Well, I know the BBC have been shielding you, poor woman, but this fandom hasn't taken you into their hearts.
She needs to take her meds.
And you know what? No, but I'm not blaming her totally, because I think she is being shielded by the BBC. But I'm sorry. If I could say it to her face, I'd just say, listen, do you know the way you keep telling the fans, keep telling everybody that this fandom has accepted you? That's not true. Your fans have accepted you as the Doctor. Doctor Who fans, Whovians, have not accepted you as the Doctor, because if they did, 57% of this audience wouldn't have walked away. I would love to go to a Comic-Con where they are, because you know me, guys. I would have no problem putting my hand up and actually calling Chris Chibnall out to his face, because that's what needs to happen. And that's why they won't go to these conventions, because they don't want someone to call them out, because they know once one calls them out, everybody else will start calling them out. It only takes one person to start it off.
Yeah, I would love to see her on a panel next to Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy and everyone, and talk about that male gaze.
Yeah,
and then see what the response is.
Do you know what? Go ahead, Balchek. Sorry.
I would say, well, there would be some disagreement there, because Colin Baker, I love the band, but he went off the deep end with the casting. But Sylvester McCoy and Peter Davison were not too keen on the idea of the gender change. Peter Davison, as we all know, was chased off Twitter. But Sylvester McCoy had spoken out about it as well. And then as soon as he saw what happened to Davison, he just shut up and never addressed it again. But yeah, it would be interesting to see their views on this, if although they probably can't, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and see, I think we've got a couple more super chats here, and yeah, we had some spammers in the chat, but Chris Persia took care of them, so thank you very much, Chris.
I've been checking the chat. That's why I keep going off camera, because I can't look at the camera and do the chat at the same time.
Well, I saw some of my haters were in there.
Yeah.
But, somebody's saying, "Eat my salad." Yes. Okay. So we'll just do a refresh here. I don't know what's going on with YouTube today. Something's coming up. But anyways, from Emery Kalame, I'm hoping I got that right. For $2 Sean Pertwee as a burned out hippie doctor. I'm going to clap at that. That is an awesome idea. No, man, I love Sean Pertwee. It's amazing how much he looks like his dad.
Yeah.
So Sean Pertwee for the anti-Jodie doctor. From Zeta Girl 1 for, I believe that is Hungarian currency, for 1790. Chibnall said in a recent article that this is an arc he had in his head since childhood.
Wow.
Well, it does seem to be like something that was written by a child. So that kind of makes sense.
I agree 100%.
And from Nick Bloxburg for €2. Eat my salad was more creative and seasoned than 13's lines. Yeah. It's I don't know. You could make many a drinking game off the 13th Doctor.
Oh my God, I would be a raging alcoholic.
You
I really would. I'm already getting there anyway, but can you imagine?
Oh, I think my favourite part was the look she gave the Australian agent who told her to get back inside. Did you notice that one when they're in the outback? And I don't know, I can't remember what they're called. What were the baddies called?
I don't know. I keep calling them the Clausen, and I know that's
the Kasavan or something.
The Kasavan.
That's
so notable. We've already forgotten.
I keep calling pickles Clausen.
I have to admit that was an interesting concept, though.
It was.
Again,
anything with it.
The criticism that we have of Chris Chibnall is that sometimes he does come up with good concepts, but it's the delivery and the way he actually presents it on screen. I mean, I think that they are Cybermen, or probably early stages of Cybermen or something. That's what someone is saying, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a direct rip-off of RTD if it is.
Yeah, which would be a direct rip-off.
Army of Ghosts?
Yeah. Which everybody is actually saying. If you look at the 2 Spyfall episodes, he does cherry pick. If you go back and watch
RTD.
some of the RTD, he's actually picking out the best parts, and actually he's JJ. He's actually JJ of the Doctor Who universe.
Well, no. See, there's a difference between JJ and Chibs. JJ cannot write to save his life, but JJ can direct, and he does have some talent in that area. As much as we don't like what he's done with Star Wars and Star Trek, lens flare slide, they do look good. Chibs, so that's what JJ has. There are things that he's good at and things that he's not good at. Like, your best Star Wars would probably be script written by George Lucas, dialogue written by Lawrence Kasdan, and J.J. Abrams as your director. So I'll give JJ that. JJ can't direct. Chibs does not have any redeeming qualities. The only thing this smug-faced piece of shit, sorry, I'm swearing, trigger warning, has done in his life is one good episode or one good season of Broadchurch. Yeah. And I'm almost thinking that was ghost written, because that is above his level.
I agree.
Like, the last 2 episodes are Chibs. Or the last 2 seasons.
I'm starting to think a lot of people have been saying that for years, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Because he's not. Even in Broadchurch, there was character development, right? And then you look at his Doctor Who episodes, and there's none. So who was overlooking the scripts when he was doing Broadchurch? Because it certainly wasn't him.
No,
because that's not his writing. I'm sorry, he is a hack.
Series 3 is definitely his writing.
Series 3 was bad.
I got 4 episodes in and tuned out.
I finished it. I don't know why, but I finished it.
Wow, Broadchurch?
Yeah, the third season is
same
bad.
Here. Yeah, I did like the second episode, though, where I thought the father was going to actually kill himself, and then Chibnall copped out and actually, he survived, and I was like, you kill him. That would have had more of an impact. He just doesn't know how to... See, that's the thing. That would have had more of an impact for me watching the next episode, but emotional impact. But it didn't have the same impact, because then when I seen the next episode and seen he was alive, I said, well, then what was the point of him going out in the lake in the first fucking place if you're not going to throw yourself over?
But he did throw in that typical, woman-hating kind of thing in Series 3, too, with Jodie Whittaker's character.
Yeah, she tried to play a counselor. If she was your counselor, you'd be dead.
Oh God, yeah. I don't think I even made it that far into the series, or no, maybe it was either 3 or 4 episodes. I could see where it was going. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah,
it was just a man-hating season. That's all that was.
Yeah, and that was let's see, that was 2017. So that was shortly before the announcement. Like he was already announced as showrunner at that point. So that was one of the reasons why I was getting concerned. It was seeing what he did to Broadchurch, seeing what the BBC was doing with their mandate, and also Jodie Whittaker. I'll give her this. She's good at playing one type of character, which is the sad, mopey character, but that's all she can do. And everything I've seen her in, she plays that character over and over again.
I will say one thing. She did have a couple of those moments in Spyfall 1 and 2, and when she acted like that, I kind of half believed her. This is the thing. I think Chris Chibnall has written her wrong anyway, to be quite honest with you. I know she's not the greatest actress. Everybody knows my feelings on that. But the thing about it is, you have to write Jodie Whittaker to her strengths for her to work. And let's be honest, he's not. So if he's not doing his job as showrunner and head writer of this show, Well, then how do you expect the lead act to get the best out of the lead actress? And he hindered her from the start anyway by telling her not to watch the classic Who or go back and watch any Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So he's made a lot of mistakes. He's the main culprit. But you have to play to Jodie Whittaker's strengths, and that's one thing I don't think he has done. And, you know, you can't fault her for that. But when even the material she's given, she should be doing better, though, in fairness. But you look at the comparison to the way she spoke to that Dalek in Resolution to the way a Christopher Eccleston spoke to the Dalek in Dalek, or the way Tennant spoke to a Dalek, or Matt Smith. It's completely different. She's calling the Dalek mate, get off the planet, mate, and all this crap. You don't talk to a Dalek like that. And where's the sci-fi? He doesn't know how to write sci-fi either. Where's all the little sci-fi in it that we used to love? None. He's incapable of writing sci-fi as well. He's just so wrong. He's done a lot of things to damage Jodie Whittaker as well. I know she hasn't helped herself and she's out of her league, but he is the main culprit. We're in the position that we're in now with this show because of him.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like somebody here said recently in the regular comments, Christopher Davies, Iris Wildtime is everything you ever wanted from a female Doctor. Agreed. For anybody who doesn't know who that is, character played by Katie Manning on Big Finish. But yes, Katie Manning probably could pull off Doctor as well. But yeah, there's actually many of the companions, you know, because here's the thing, the Doctor can reinvent it or steal faces. We've seen that before. There are actually, even though my view on the casting of a female Doctor has always been, I would support it if you do it for a reason that makes sense. If you do it in a way that fits within the narrative of the show, that's interesting. But if you're looking at casting a female as the Doctor, Olivia Colman was I think she's too big now to play the Doctor.
Yeah,
like she was rumored. But I think if you look at most of the companions, they could pull off a Doctor. Catherine Tate would be perfect casting.
Yes.
You know, I think I couldn't see Rose as the Doctor. No. Martha Freeman Agyeman, yeah, I could see that.
I actually hate to say this, but I could actually even see Clara as the Doctor.
She'd be way better than.
Because remember that episode with the Drawdens that came to life? What was the name
you're
of that
talking
episode?
about Flatline?
Flatline.
Yeah.
She kind of. She kind of took over the role as the Doctor. She kind of.
I mean, even though she was kind of, ribbing a little bit, but
but I thought she would.
Well, even Karen Gillan could pull it off.
Yes, because they're good actresses. That's the thing. That's the thing. Jodie Whittaker just unfortunately is not at the level that she needs to be to play this role, and that's his fault because he gave her the job.
Yeah, and if you were so hell bent on changing the gender, there are many talented women out there that could have played
exactly. Jodie Comer that plays in that Killing Eve show. She is a lunatic. We're going to be watching it. We've watched a few clips. Jodie Comer, she won a BAFTA over Jodie Whittaker. She would be absolutely perfect if you were going to go down the female route. I still do believe the Doctor is a male role, but if they really wanted to push this, she's the kind of person I would have went for, or an Olivia Colman, or who else? Or a Catherine Tate, but she's already been in the show, so they wouldn't do that.
But there's they could do that within the narrative of the show because
they done it with Peter.
Yeah, with Peter Capaldi, he took he stole that face from another character.
Yeah.
So I think if they did go that route, like I want them just to go back to the way it was. But if they did go that route, that might be something interesting. And Catherine Tate, like. My God, she would be up there with Tom Baker or David Tennant. If
I would rather see Catherine Tate.
Yeah,
because I think she has the charisma. She also has that extra. She can act, but she has that charisma like a Tom Baker. And Jodie lacks charisma as well, which unfortunately is not her fault. Again, it's not her fault. That's just her personality. That's just the way she is. That's not an attack on her character. That's just. She's the wrong person for a role.
She's actually just playing it like herself because that's really how she acts.
Yeah.
It seems to be now she's trying to be Matt Smith. But the problem is Matt Smith, I think in terms of performance, also in terms of look, I think he might be the most unique Doctor that we've ever had. Like, nobody can pull off Matt Smith's Doctor but Matt Smith. And if you try, even for a talented actor, it's gonna be ridiculous. But you have somebody who's not talented trying to imitate.
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't necessarily. No, I like Matt Smith. I wouldn't say necessarily he's the best Doctor we've ever had. He's definitely in the top half, but he is the most unique Doctor we've ever had. So she's trying to pull off something that you can't pull off, and that's and you can see when she's being serious, she's trying to channel David Tennant. I'm like, I'm sorry, David Tennant might be the best actor. Well, him and Capaldi are probably tied for the two best actors. You cannot pull that off.
No.
And if she brings her own personality into it, then God help us.
Well, I think David Tennant knew when to be quirky and when he knew when to pull it in and be serious, like in Family of Blood, you know, like that whole story arc. You know, it's like that's when you saw the Doctor, like, wow, you saw a completely different side. But he knew when to be quirky and fun, and then he could pull it back very quickly and be serious. She can't do that. It's very hard for her to do that.
And it came up again in Spyfall when she was confronting Lenny Henry's character.
It was a major fail.
There was no authority there at all. I mean, if you consider that to David Tennant facing Davros or David Tennant facing Anthony Head in that swimming pool. Union. I mean, that was just electric. And there's just no power there. There's no gravitas.
All the Doctors have had that except her. If you think about it, even the ones you're not like real keen on, they still had that. They had that
even
side
Colin Baker. I'm not a fan of Colin Baker's Doctor, as you all know. But he still had some quirkiness about him, and I do agree with Ballstrick. There is you can see that his character is developing. It was just, you know, they killed the show that they just decided to get rid of him, which was probably the wrong decision. To be honest with you.
I think the only Doctor that doesn't have that dark side to him is Peter Davison, but he's still a great Doctor.
Yes.
But he's always been known as he was the most human Doctor. So he's still in the top half of Doctors in my opinion, but because he played it as a human, and largely I think it was because he wanted to distance himself from Tom Baker. He was the human Doctor, although on Big Finish he actually does pull out the angry Doctor, but
I have noticed that.
But he's still got that air of authority.
It's
not.
Whereas Jodie Whittaker, the Master, tells her to kneel down, and it was just like,
oh God, I had fun with that scene.
I was just, I know, same here, and I was like, I said, but here was the first thought that popped into my head. I says, all those radical feminists are gonna love this scene.
And I think that's maybe why they're griping, because they see a lot of that stuff, and you know, that's probably why they're not happy with it, because there's a lot of that now, which I think they're trying to pander to both sides.
Here's the thing, though. I was like, Ballstrick, why didn't you just bleed miniaturize her when you had the chance? For God's sake.
Why didn't that go anywhere? You know, when they ended up in that other dimension that looked like the Upside Down.
Stranger Things,
I got really excited because I thought she'd shrunk.
Yeah.
I thought, like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of thing going on.
I was thinking that too. Like I got that.
And I just thought, that went nowhere.
Chris Chibnall wouldn't make us that. Chris Chibnall wouldn't make us that happy. Are you joking? He's all about misery, for God's sake. That guy doesn't want. This is his. He wants us to his brief, right? He doesn't want us to enjoy Doctor Who, right? That's what it is.
Because he isn't.
He just. I don't know. I actually think he hates Doctor Who. Really do, because that's a man that's hate writing Doctor Who right now. It's so sad to see, because you know what, BBC, we've said this, and loads of Doctor Who YouTubers have said this, and fans. BBC don't realise what a gem they have on their hands. If they treated Doctor Who with the respect that it deserves and actually got in the best people to write for it, trust me, this would be the biggest show on the planet. It'd be another Game of Thrones kind of level. It would, because Matt Smith. This is where I like Matt Smith's Doctor. Now, I don't give Matt Smith's Doctor very much credit very often, and I should, because Matt Smith's Doctor was a very interesting choice. Because I remember when he was cast, and I was annoyed, right? Because I thought he was too young, right? But here was the thing about Matt Smith's Doctor. Matt Smith could act young and he could act old because he was young, but he was old at heart, you could say, right? But he could act old as well. He convinced he put Doctor Who on the map on America. I know David Tennant made strides, but it was when Matt Smith took over the role is where Doctor Who really took off in America, right? So we thank him for that. But it's because he, like that scene at the end of the 11th hour, I mean, he won me over. He was the Doctor.
Yeah.
He was the Doctor after that episode.
That was
any
the
of you
perfect
tell me?
introductory episode.
Yeah. So here's the thing you have to ask yourself. How many episodes have we had of Jodie Whittaker's? We've had what, 12, 13?
Yeah, we're at lucky 13 right now.
Right. So we've had 13 episodes, right? After 13 episodes, can anybody in this panel and live chat tell me, is Jodie Whittaker the Doctor to you?
No, I knew that
Does
the
she feel
first
like-
episode.
Does she feel like the
No.
Doctor? No.
She doesn't
No.
She doesn't convince me that she's a centuries old
No.
alien.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's the problem I have. Now, granted, other doctors with other fans, it will take them a while to get used to a doctor, but generally by the end of the season or halfway through a season, they're convinced that that person's the doctor, right? We're a season and 2 episodes in, and we're still trying to see, can this woman prove to us that she's the doctor? And she still hasn't managed it. Now, is it just down to her? No. As we said, Chris Chibnall's a big culprit. But why can't the BBC see this? This is so simple to fix. You get rid of him, you get rid of her, and you start again. What's the problem? We would accept it if Doctor Who came back to some sort of, even RTD days. Even if it got back to those sort of days, I think we'd be happy. Because we know it'd be well written. We wouldn't enjoy it all because, let's be honest, RTD did give us a few bad episodes, but generally his era is actually pretty solid. If you look at Moffat's era, it's been all over the place. Chris Chibnall, the start of his era, it's been a disaster. So this all started with the end of Moffat, right? Because at the end of his stuff, these last 2 seasons, as Paul Streck has pointed out, became very political. You've seen the agenda being shoehorned in. And then Chris Chibnall just came in, and then all of a sudden now, it's not as if they've doubled down. They've actually went 3, 4, 5 levels above. It's just, Series 11 is, and I said it earlier, is the best piece of political propaganda, woke manifesto I've ever seen. You look at that series, it's perfect for all those people. It's perfect for, it's just, but as a Doctor Who series, it is the worst series. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it now. It is the worst series in Doctor Who history, and I never thought I'd say that. And Series 12 is probably going to be even worse. And I never thought I'd say that either. So that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you guys think she's the Doctor?
No, hell no.
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 It doesn't take me long. And I pretty much don't change my opinion too much. I've warmed a little bit more to Matt Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a big fan when I first watched it, but I warmed. And also he gets my respect because he actually had never seen the show, and he actually, before he took the role, he watched every episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that makes you the Doctor.
Yeah.
Even if I don't think you're the best Doctor, that alone just makes you the Doctor.
Exactly. The effort. That's it. That's
That's
all we
what it
ever
means to
wanted.
me.
And if Jodie Whittaker had done that, and listen, if I had the first words out of my mouth hadn't have been, don't fear my gender. Like, as soon as you said that, you lost me anyway. You know what I mean? You were gone. You were just like, after you said that, she was finished with me. That was it, because I knew what was coming. It is sad to say, because it's over 50 years old. We're coming up to the 60th, and I mightn't. That could be it. And it's sad.
Yep.
It's sad. And it didn't need to go this way. I mean, modern television, there's so many avenues this show could have went down, but it chose this avenue. And you can still bring new fans into Doctor Who because that's what Doctor Who has managed to do. Why do you think it's lasted this long? RTD was great, man. When he brought it back, he knew how to bring in the old fans and the new fans. And Chris Chibnall has just decided, see you classic fans, you can screw off now. This show is not for you anymore. I'm making it I'm gonna pander to a small minority and I'm gonna run this show into the ground. Well done. You've done the job, mate, because you've killed my passion and you've killed a lot of other people's passion for this show, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yep. And I think I got a few more super chats here. So yeah, we'll probably be cutting this off shortly. Try and keep it to the 2-hour mark, so we don't hold everybody hostage too long. Let's see.
You know me, I could talk all night. You know.
Oh, we know you know. It's take a bathroom break before TARDIS, and goddamn YouTube just kicked me out again. Oh god, yeah. I think I've said this before in the stream, but whenever YouTube starts going wonky, Matrix Lord 212, hey man, how's it going? Just no. And yes, Joe, I have to have you on a stream at some point. Also, everybody, subscribe to Matrix Lord 212. Somebody wants to put that in the chat as well. See, I'm trying to push as many Doctor Who channels as I can.
I didn't notice Matrix Lord was there. Hey, Matrix Lord.
So from Zeta Girl 1, once again for Hungarian currency, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but for $6.99 Hungarian dollars, Chibs doesn't know the basics of writing. No, he really doesn't. He knows how to. I don't know. If you look at Broadchurch season 1, maybe, but I think that was ghost written. I honestly think somebody else was working on that.
Yeah, I agree.
I've said 100%. That myself.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Well, basics of writing, beginning, middle, end, something interesting. And even look at the Stranger Things Upside Down world. He didn't do anything with that. I'm like,
no, I know, and that was an interesting concept, though.
Let's be honest, you should explore that.
Yep.
That kind of reminded me of something from Classic Who, like they would have had. And I like that, but yeah, no exploration. It's like, okay, that's it.
Do you know what he'll do? He'll do the same with the Tim Shaw kind of thing. We had Tim Shaw in the first episode, and then he just pops up in the last. He'll probably do the same thing with this upside down business thing. Yeah. You know, it's at the being in the first 2 episodes. He'd probably bring it back for the last one, and then
he'll probably bring the team back for the last episode or something stupid.
Oh Jesus! Don't start.
I'm serious though. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
And as a correction,
any posts on crack.
The frog is the timeless child.
The frog and Pating all in one episode, and then
they're the same thing. They're the secret Doctor.
Do you know what? Some fans are actually speculating that the timeless child is actually the frog.
Frog, I wouldn't doubt it. Don't put it past him. Seriously.
Oh, and as our thing to learn for the day, I think is Zeta Girl 1. In English, it's called Hungarian forint. So forint. I guess that's right. Okay, cool. And then we're going to Australia now. From Java Bean for $2.99 Australian dollars. Miranda Richardson would have won me over. I could see that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, could see.
Yeah,
that,
wasn't she in a Doctor Who episode, or is it someone else I was thinking of?
I don't think she's ever been in Doctor Who, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that, but she should be.
I'm just pulling up her.
She'd be cool.
Her IMDb.
She's a great actress.
Well, here's the thing as well. Have you not noticed all these terrific supporting actors and actresses that he's getting into the show? Again, it's another way of him kind of trying to paper over the cracks of
right, but he wasted Stephen Fry. How can you waste Stephen Fry?
Because not only that, he had to be the toxic male too. So
I know. I didn't like
that. It was so disappointing.
Come here. When I was told a couple of days before the episode dropped that his cameo was literally that trailer, I was like, are you serious? They got Stephen Fry in and that's all he's going to get. Him. And then when it actually did happen, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. No.
I see her,
and he would have been brilliant in it. He could have helped the Doctor, worked with the Doctor.
I'd have rather seen that.
He missed the trick there, Chibnall. He could have had him and Jodie Whittaker go back through time, you know, and stuff
That'd be
happen.
cool.
That would have been more
Yeah.
interesting. But
I mean,
no.
he'd been kind of like a brigadier, you know,
Yeah,
like.
I was just literally gonna just say
I
that.
mean, that was neat about the Pertwee years is you had the brigadier, and that made it a cool dynamic. Why? Why, Chibnall? Why?
He has,
he was there to serve one purpose and one purpose only, and then he gets shot in the head.
I know. Why did they kill
nothing
him?
metaphorical there at all.
I know why I killed him,
No.
because he's the evil male.
And Matrix Lord wants to know, where did the Doctor park the Master's TARDIS?
he actually brought this up on Twitter because that's another loophole that Chibnall never actually explained. Where is the Master's TARDIS? Is it still in the same spot, or has the Doctor moved it? What the hell?
I don't know.
We probably won't find out either. Why would we need to know that? Yeah.
Well, no, Chibs, it's like J.J. Abrams, set things up and don't finish them, so same style of writing.
I just can't wait for the Master to come back anyway, because I'll tell you why, we'll see decent acting and we'll have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But imagine we're just saying we're wishing that a character comes back to make it more interesting than the main
Do you
lead.
think it'll be this season that he'll come back, or he'll be like the early season 13?
I think he'll come back.
I've been told he'll pop in again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a beginning, and I use the term arc loosely. And here's one, and this is something that's been speculated. So also from Australia, Cyberman 10 for $2 Australian. I know we were talking about this before the stream, but I don't think we discussed it during the stream. Does anyone think Jodie is new Missy?
See, as I said, I received information, but we have to stress at this point it's just rumor and speculation. But the latest rumor is that whatever happened with the regeneration, the Doctor is in the wrong body and Missy is in the wrong body. So basically, what's Doctor is supposed to be really Sasha, and Jodie Whittaker is supposed to be Missy. That's
I
the
could
rumor.
see that actually. Well,
yeah, but here's the thing. I agree with you, but why set it up for the 2 years that he set it up for? Destroy the fandom, basically, right? If he's got, this is basically him trolling the fans for 2 years, and then he goes and does this and say, I was only messing, she wasn't the female Doctor all along, it's this Sasha, it was a body swap thing. It'd be like an insult. That's an insult.
It is an insult, but I think the BBC, the only way I would say this, the BBC was like, that was a course correction. Because, I mean, he obviously, the whole idea was to have a female Doctor.
That's what I'm going to say. That's what, if that happens, it's because Jodie Whittaker hasn't worked out as the Doctor. It's the only reason why they do it. And if that has happened, that's not Chris Chibnall's doing either, by the way. They've obviously put a stop to whatever he wanted to do, because he probably was going too far. They're like, don't get me wrong, BBC do want to push an agenda, but if someone goes too far with that agenda, they're not going to tolerate that either, because they don't want to be seen to be pushing that agenda too much. So if he has been pushing that agenda too much, then maybe they have told him, you have to do this now. But I just don't. But how would they get? I just don't see Starry Girl. I just don't see how Chris Chibnall is going to get from Series 11, then he starts this in Series 12, how he's going to get to the end point. How is he going to explain it? Because we've seen Peter Capaldi regenerate into Jodie Whittaker. Like, we all seen that. So is he going to show us something that we didn't see before the regeneration, during the regeneration? Because it's not going to make sense, is it? I just don't see, and I do agree with you. I think fans would like to see that happen, but I just don't see how he can do it. He should have been setting this up. He should have set this up. If that was the case, why didn't he set this up during Series 11 and leave hints along the way, and then do it in Series 12 and end with it that way?
Because this wasn't part of the plan. This has just been made up as it's gone along.
Exactly, it wasn't.
And it's then we're gonna know then, because it's not gonna make any sense. How is he gonna write it? That's my problem. And we know he can't write, and he's using soap writers as well. So
Well, the BBC is basically J.J. Abrams and Chibnall's Ryan Johnson.
I'll tell you what they should do.
It's pretty
I'll
much.
tell you what, just
how
do
it
a
is.
Dallas dream sequence or something. Bring Peter
I know,
Capaldi back.
yeah.
Do a Dallas dream sequence and done. There you go. Simple. You don't have to do the timeless child crap. Just swap bodies and crap.
Well, Matrix Lord brought this up, and this has been a theory. Missy's hand gesture created a post-hypnotic suggestion for the Doctor to regenerate into a female. Yeah, I've heard that rumor as well, that the Master is actually behind this whole thing. So different takes on the same idea. And guys, just everybody in the stream, just before we proceed, and we'll be finishing things off shortly. But once again, if you look down in the description, we've got 2 links, and Starry-Eyed Girl at some point is going to set up a YouTube channel, and it's going to be brilliant, right? Yes. But
she'll do it. She'll do it eventually, because we'll keep pounding her until she does it.
But everybody in the stream, so we have the TARDIS Zone and Bluebonnet Whovian's channels linked. So right now, the TARDIS Zone, Noel, you're at 1.09 thousand subscribers, and Bluebonnet Whovian, you are at 328 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
So right now we have, how many people do we have watching right now? 455. Okay. So if you like Doctor Who content, you'll like awesome takes on the Doctor. Not the current Doctor, but that's another story. I disown that. But subscribe to these 2 channels. So there you go. So everybody, links, just hit the thing, hit subscribe. You will not be disappointed. Also, Matrix Lord 212, he is in the chat as well. Subscribe to Matrix Lord. Who else? We had Geeky Candy in the chat. Her link had been posted as well, so subscribe to Geeky Candy. If you have YouTube channels that you also want people to subscribe to, put links in the description, and we'll do that as well. Chris Persia just put up Matrix. I can't talk. Just put up Matrix Lord 212, and Chris, if you could put up Geeky Candy again as well, and anybody else that has a channel, a good channel.
I can plug my podcast with Dan.
Oh wait, yeah.
Sorry, because type 40. I don't know if Chris.
Why did I? And Dan, I apologize profusely. We should have been pushing that all along. If somebody can put the podcast and David Renner, shut up. No, I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to the spammers. How many goddamn spammers do we have?
Hold on, I'm getting rid of it.
Oh no, actually, Chris Persia and Purple Lady. Actually, my mods have been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, they have. They have.
Oh, thank you, mods.
And now I can't even. Oh yes. So if some Starry-Eyed Girl or anybody else, if you want to put up a link to the Spacebook podcast, check that out as well.
Yeah, it's gone up on the live chat there now.
Yeah, and Dan is going to be on this channel as well, probably within the next few weeks. I'm trying to get as many people on as I can. But yeah, so let's just see. So have we made any impact since we just set out the notice? So Bluebonnet Whovian, I'm checking right now. I've got it in an unlogged-in browser because YouTube is being stupid.
Right, so you're on 348 or something.
So we've got another 20. Awesome. And
nice.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And it just died. God damn it, YouTube. Like nothing is working today.
It happens. Live and stream says this stream is more popular than Series 12, it seems.
Oh wait, no, you're at 1.1. And Bluebonnet Whovian, YouTube hates you because it doesn't want to bring up your channel.
I looked at it. It was 350 the last time I looked.
Okay, cool. So can we get Bluebonnet Whovian to 400 before the end of the stream? Or let's try and get her to as close to that as we can.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Right now. So there we go. And and sorry, Nerdaholics is in there as well. So Chris Persia just put in the link. And if there's anybody there that I've forgotten,
Daniel as well, actually. I'd like
Oh,
to give
yeah,
Daniel.
Daniel.
He does,
Oh yeah.
he does Big
yeah.
Finish.
Yeah,
If
and,
anybody's into Big Finish audios, he does he does streams on Big Finish.
yeah, we got Daniel moderating. So yeah, Chris just put in the link. So we're gonna call this "Subscribe to YouTubers." No, honestly, because there are so many great YouTube channels in this community, and just with the way YouTube works now, like
Yeah.
I'm very old. I'm great grandpa in terms of YouTube, but it's next to impossible for new channels to get ahead. So because there's so many awesome small channels, I think we need to push those. And if you want good content, YouTube just doesn't appreciate independent creators anymore. Yeah, Rebecca Gold. Chris linked the web series as well, so also check out Rebecca Gold. But yeah, no, it's what I liked about YouTube back when I first set up this channel, which is longer ago than I care to admit. It was a community for small independent creators. Now, it's like, does anybody remember when you had a friends list on YouTube? They would have they would feature independent creators. Now they don't do that because they don't care. So we need to show our support to small creators. So focus on them. Don't focus on this corporate shit.
Exactly. Yeah, those corporate channels are they're leeches. They're actually ruining YouTube. And I'd say support every YouTuber out there. Whatever franchise you're into, go and find an independent creator, and if you like them, sub them. Simple as that. And word of mouth as well is another great tool. See, this is the thing. YouTube have made it difficult for us all to grow, and it's not on because some of the independent creators. I mean, Ballstreck, Gary Doomcock, Blue Bonnet Hoovian, Daniel as well. I listen to all of them. I mean, there's a whole different variety. There's and it's great. It's you don't get that on TV anyway.
No, it's actually more entertaining than television these days.
And everybody in the live chat, bar the spammers, of course. Everybody in the live chat, obviously, is nice, and you get to have friendships with people. It's actually it's a nice little community. Everybody bands together. So support everybody, I say. So
well, at some point, there's actually I made a video 11 years ago. It had to do with, this was when YouTube was starting to bring in corporate content. So yes, Bolstrek predicted the future of YouTube 11 years ago. At some point, I might actually track down that video and put it up on YouTube. But we're going to see how we're doing right now for subs. So Blue Bonnet Hoovian, last time I checked, I believe it was 366. And goddamn Microsoft Edge. Okay, yeah, so 366. Tartazone, I believe you're still at 1.1. Okay, so we only need another 36 subs to get Blue Bonnet Hoovian to 400. So come on, folks, band together. We can do this.
That's it.
And obviously, if you're watching the stream after the fact, the links will still be up in the description as well.
Well, here, while we have a few minutes while we're waiting, why don't we talk about the upcoming episode and what we actually think is going to happen ratings-wise and stuff, and the trailer. Talk a bit about the trailer. Is anybody? What did you think of the trailer, actually?
I'll let other people go ahead.
It's an Orphan 55. It's Orphan 55, isn't it? What a strange name. He has a thing for strange names.
I mean, the synopsis doesn't really do much for me. I mean, it just doesn't.
Do you think it'll have a countdown?
Well, see, it looks like a space station kind of spa thing, doesn't it? So, no, Chibnall probably will. Do you know, he might have another quiz.
Well, we got screwed last season with a space station with a pating and a pregnant man. So I'm not optimistic.
No, I think it looks like crap, and I think I'm going to have a blast reviewing it. Because you can't enjoy Doctor Who anymore, so you can make fun of it. And I just look forward to triggering people, which will happen.
Yeah.
Does anybody here expect any episode to surprise them at all in this series?
Nope, not at all.
No?
No.
See, isn't that sad that, like, as Doctor Who fans now, we're not even optimistic anymore? And we were a very optimistic bunch of fans, I have to say. Do you know, it's a shame to see this fan. Do you know, I've noticed there's a lot of, I don't know if it's the right word to use, but maybe it is. There's a lot of mourning going on right now with Doctor Who. I think a lot of people have given up hope that this show will ever be good again.
Stages of grief.
Yeah, we're at acceptance now.
Yeah.
And it's sad. I mean,
I just feel. Sorry, no, go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I just feel dread because I'm just waiting for the next thing to get ruined. You know, we've got the Jadoon to come.
I don't mind if he ruins them now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's just that another little knock. You know,
you're
another
right,
little.
though. RTD, it is. It is. That's
then
what I mean.
Yeah, well, here's a question, and from my next super chat from Mark D. Fox for $49.99 UK pounds.
Wow.
How bad are they going to let it get? It's possible to have an agenda / message without it being at the expense of good writing or acting, but he has no grasp of subtlety, and that is true because. Yeah. Doctor Who has always had an underlying message that went through the entire original series. It has been political. The difference, and I get so sick of explaining this to people on Twitter, the difference between really, we have to go back to Series 9 really to see where it started, but Doctor Who prior to that, it was political messages, there was political messaging, but what the show went after was the message itself. The show never went after an entire demographic.
Exactly.
The way the current show is doing. So that's the difference. And also Doctor Who, and I would say Star Trek as well, in terms of subtlety. And I think Star Trek maybe did this the best, where especially the original series, we're looking at something made in the very turbulent late 60s. There were so many issues brought up in that series. But the show and the Next Generation did this to a certain extent as well. The show really let the viewer decide, and it just presented the issues. And it also, and the reason Roddenberry was able to get away with this is he shrouded these issues in science fiction, so it was all metaphorical. So that's how it will work. Like, you can have an agenda, you can have a message, but ultimately entertainment should be apolitical, because it doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. And if you look at every country politically, Canada split down the middle. The US is definitely split down the middle. The UK is split down the middle. When you take a message from the right or from the left and don't present both sides, you're going to alienate half your audience. And that's what Chibs and the BBC don't get. But I guess probably our final question, and we'll do this as a round table as well. And we'll go with Mark's first question. How bad are they going to let it get? So we'll start with Blue Bonnet Whovian again, then we'll go to Starry Eyed Girl, and then to Noel. How bad do you think the show is going to get? Is there any way to go forward from this point?
Not right now. I think it's too late, and I say that because it's been getting progressively worse and worse. But like I said, if they do the decanonization, that's just it's going to kill it. It'll be dead. Either that, or they're going to just slowly start killing it slowly, and then eventually it will just it will end. But I mean, if they do the decanonization, that will be it'll be dead. It will be dead. There's no bringing it back. It's not coming back. I mean, if they do it slowly, it might come back at some point, but it won't be anytime soon. It'll be another 10 years. But if the decanonization, I think it would really kill it. Absolutely.
Yep. And before we go to Starry Eyed Girl, Blue Bonnet Whovian is at 379 subscribers.
Wow.
Hey!
So just 21 of you need to subscribe, and we'll get her to 400. So Starry Eyed Girl, now that we're going back to gloom and doom, so you think that there's any going forward for the show, or how bad do you think they're actually going to let it get?
I think, as Blue Bonnet says, if they go through with this story about, the Time Lords, it all being a lie, I don't think you can come back from that. It's kind of like what's happened with Star Wars. with the old Palpatine thing. I think there's some things you don't cross, and when it affects everything that has come before, which it will, we're going right back to the origins of the Time Lords and time travel and everything. It's going to kill it. It'll be the final nail in the coffin, and I hate thinking that. I never wanted the show to go on a hiatus again, but I do think it needs some time. It's going to need a few years to recover, if it can recover.
Yeah.
It could be that it lives on in Big Finish, and that's it. So now I've depressed you all.
It's okay. We're depressed, but we can try and see the humor. And Blue Bonnet Hoovian is at 382. So we have 18 minutes to go. If one of the mods wants to do us a favor, just make it a little bit easier. Put the channel description. Noel as well. We'll just see where Noel is before we let him give his 2 cents. But yeah, if you want to put the channel in the description, we are getting Blue Bonnet Hoobie into 400 subs before we finish. We're going to hold everybody hostage. Noel is at 1.11, so there you go, buddy. We got you up there a little bit more. Now, speaking of Noel, I know you're as optimistic about the world and cheery about everything as I am. So how bad do you think it's going to get? And do you think there's any coming back? I know we've both discussed this. But have your thoughts changed on this at all?
I don't think it's going to recover from this. If he goes in the direction, as everybody has said, that we think he's going to go in, it's game over. Well, it already is. I think it already is too late. But he's gonna drag it on for a couple of years. But I would like to take this opportunity actually to quote William Hartnell, because I think this is appropriate right now, and I'll do it now. So says, one day I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Just go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine. And I think, that's what we should, and that's the way we should remember Doctor Who. The Doctor Who that we know is gone. It's finished. The show is not Doctor Who anymore. It's Doctor Who in name, and we won't get the show back to its former glory. Even when Chris Chibnall's gone, I think he has done too much damage. I think it's been proven. 57% of the viewing public have walked away. We've even said on all of our channels, even though Series 12 is an improvement, which it is, and nobody will deny that, fans have made it clear that they are finished. It's finished. I was the most optimistic. I always thought it could come back from this, but I honestly don't think it can. No. It may come back in some capacity a few years later, but I don't even think we'd get as serious. It might be a one-off special, to be quite honest with you. I think it's dead and buried. I think Doctor Who died back in 2017. It finished in 2017.
Yeah.
That's it. It's done. I'm sorry to be so, because people know me. I've always been optimistic, thinking that this show could come back, but no. I mean, he makes me so angry when I watch it. I just see everything that's wrong with it and everything that it shouldn't be. And I shouldn't be feeling like that when I watch Doctor Who. I should be excited. I should be, getting emotional but happy. Sad as well, because there's sad moments in Doctor Who. But I should be at the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
And this era doesn't put any of you to the edge of your seats, because I don't get excited whatsoever. I tell you, there's more life in a corpse than there is in this era of Doctor Who. Seriously, you'd get more life out of a corpse. It's absolutely disgraceful. It's a shambles. Sorry.
No. That was enlightening, Noel. So now that Noel has depressed us further,
Yeah, you had to pull out that William Hartnell quote, and my eyes were all tearing up. And not fair.
I feel
not
like
fair, Noel.
Yeah, it's thanks, buddy. So now to depress everyone further. So everybody knows my thoughts, but just in case you don't, a week ago, or was it a week ago, or about a week and a half ago, I was so pissed off with the current state of Doctor Who. I had given up any hope that this show can ever be fixed. And that's why I said I was going to stop making Doctor Who videos after series 12, because you can't save it at this point. It's done. But then some of the wonderful people, which are also I've seen in the chat, so we love you. Get a hobby guy. Okay, whatever. This is my hobby.
Mine too.
When I saw the response from the wonderful Twitterites, my mission now is mainly to expose what has happened to this show, because this show has been stolen from the fans. It has been stolen by ideology. It has been stolen by the BBC. It's been stolen by Chips. So right now, Doctor Who is over for me. Like Noel, even though I don't really like the last two, even though I love Capaldi, I don't like his last two series. I still consider that Doctor Who. But for me, Doctor Who ended in 2017. These are the wilderness years, except this is worse than the wilderness years. Because during the wilderness years, we still had the books. Big Finish started doing Doctor Who in 1999. So, we still had something to get us excited about. This is like... Doctor Who look at Doctor Who as a loved one. The loved one passed away 2 years ago. And it's a horror movie. Something has reanimated its corpse, and the corpse has started insulting its own family. So that's what Doctor Who is now. It's just a reanimated corpse of what once was. So now that I've depressed everyone even further, who's happy now?
Well, there is hope out there in the Doctor Who fandom.
My God, Noel,
I am. I'm going to be positive here, because I'm going to actually say there's a lot of Doctor Whovians out there that are actually doing the likes of Big Finish style audios. They're doing their own little animations on YouTube. There's the Dalek Tales. I don't know if you've seen that animation. It's actually not too bad, to be quite honest with you. Fans are making better content. So, you could still find some good Doctor Who stuff out there, but it's made by the fans. And you know what? It's at least with the fans, you're going to get it from the heart. And they understand Doctor Who. Do you know what I mean? They do, because they're fans of the show. So I'd be, that's what I'd support. I'd support these people, because... BBC right now just disgust me. They're just awful people. They just they have a gem. They don't even realize they have a gem. This could become, and I've said it. I said it last year, even before Series 11 aired. I said it. This could be the biggest show on the planet if they just put love, care, and attention to it. But they just seem to disrespect it and its fans at every turn. And you know what? They gambled. They made Series 11 so different because they wanted to attract newer fans. Well, even the newer fans are walking away as well. The only fans that are hanging on are Jodie Whittaker fans, and all these radical idiots, rainbow warriors, whatever you call them. Well, what's a rainbow hate mob? Alphabet people, whatever. That's all. That they're the only people that support Jodie Whittaker right now. And why? Because she fits an agenda that suits them right now and actually appeals to them. As soon as she starts straying away from that, sure, they'll turn on her anyway. So, and they're already starting to turn, because Chibnall has toned it down a little bit. It's still there. We know it's there. He's toned it down, but he tones it down any further, they're going to have a fit. So, what are they going to do then? They lose those fans, then what's it left with? It's left with nothing. Thanks, Chibnall.
Yep.
It's losing the kids. It's losing the little boys. I mean,
and the girls,
it's losing and girls as well.
Because the girls do like whether this might be a shock to people out there in BBC land, but women do like male heroes. And they do like female companions, and they do like women in distress and being rescued. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that all women are distressed and need to be rescued, But the way these people are going on, you think that's the case, it's because it's oh no, you can't have a woman weak anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, the past companions rescue the Doctor all the time.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And they weren't all weak. Look at Barbara, the first Doctor. Is anybody going to say she was not a strong companion?
No, she was strong.
You had a strong female character that was not out of the companions, she was the strongest of the three of them. And she had no problems with putting the Hartnell Doctor in his place.
Oh, yeah.
We've had strong female characters going back to the beginning. And the view of the companion as just this girls that scream and run. No, maybe one or two of them did. But are you going to say Sarah Jane Smith was like that?
No.
Are you going to say Joe Grant was like that?
No.
Yeah, it's no.
Because Joe Grant, even the first scene with the Doctor kind of dismisses Joe Grant, but she asserts her authority. She does. There was all this rhetoric from all these idiots that say that women were portrayed as weak in Doctor Who. They haven't got a clue what they're talking about. There was strong women in Doctor Who.
Yep. It's like the whole argument just doesn't make any sense if you actually look into it.
And in Doctor Who's case, it is bullshit. In Doctor Who's case, it is, because we've seen that it's there for everybody to see. And to talk about that there was no diversity in Doctor Who either. Oh my God, you are a bunch of clowns. You obviously haven't got a clue, or you have never watched Doctor Who.
Well, a lot of them haven't.
No, they haven't.
Oh, I tell you, it's one of the most diverse shows out there. It's been for years, decades. Why do you think it survived? It wouldn't survive if it hasn't moved with the times, you clowns.
Yep.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth. This is what I can't understand. They come up with these ridiculous arguments, we throw one back at them, and then they insult us because they know we've already won. We win the argument every time because the history of the show proves our point. It was diverse. Ace was another example of a companion that was very strong. Let's not forget her. I mean, Donna Noble in New Who, she was very strong.
Well, Ace's arc was she was supposed to eventually become a Time Lord. That's where they were going with that character, and that's where it would have gone had McCoy gotten the 6th season. And the season where she does join Time Lord Society was recreated with the Big Finish Lost Adventures. But and while you were talking, use the example of Zoe as well. 1960, she was a scientist.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And
she's smarter than the Doctor.
Yep.
And you had Liz Shaw. Liz Shaw was also a scientist. I mean, all this rhetoric from
Leela, 1970s, who could take down pretty much any male, not a strong female character. Romana 1 and Romana 2, not strong female character.
I love Romana.
Tegan wasn't a strong female character. I'm like, give me a break.
No, I didn't like Tegan.
Nah,
not my favorite.
Tegan.
She is kind of an acquired taste.
I liked her to a point. I liked how she brought the conflict in, but I never understood having a companion that didn't want to be there.
No, she constantly complained. I mean, constantly.
Here's one place.
Oh, you got to listen to her on Big Finish.
Worst female companion.
No. Who?
What do you reckon? Worst female companion. What do you reckon?
Dodo.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. No, Susan is pretty bad. No, she's the granddaughter. Maybe Rose.
I don't like Rose. I have my issues with Rose.
I don't like Rose. I like Rose.
Rose, Mel, but not Mel. Mel got better on Big Finish, but
I agree. I think Dodo was the most annoying.
So hang on, is people saying that Mel is worse than Yasmin Khan? I was talking about all companions now, not just classic companions, so I better make that clear, because if you're all saying Mel over
if you're looking
Yasmin
for
Khan,
if you're looking for the worst of everything, it's in the current iteration. So probably Yaz. Although oddly enough, Bradley Walsh in any other era of Doctor Who would be considered a great companion. Well, he is a great companion, but he would be one of the greatest companions if he was anywhere else
Yes.
Doctor Who canon anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not. I don't like I don't like the smug Clara that kept putting Capaldi in his place and threatening to slap him.
Yeah,
No,
I
when she slapped him, I could. I mean, I like Clara, but that I couldn't get behind. I was like, really, you're gonna go there?
Matrix Lord makes the point that Yaz still got episodes left. Yeah, but she's had what now 13 episodes, and she still hasn't done that. I mean, how many episodes does she need before we actually are convinced that she's a cop? By the way, in Spyfall 1 and 2, she was a cop. She's supposed to be a cop. How many times did she do something stupid in those 2 episodes? She's a cop. She's supposed to have intelligence. She used a telephone and a mobile phone. She's a cop. Sorry.
I mean, you ever notice like he writes these female characters and he kind of insults them by writing them that way? It's like you're supposed to be for feminism and building women up, but yet you write characters that are like you're kind of making them just come across stupid.
Yep. Well, it comes down to Chibs doesn't know how to write. The only reason that Graham is a character that we like, it has nothing to do with the writing. It has to do with Bradley Walsh's performance.
Right.
Tosin Cole is kind of funny because I don't think he's a bad actor, but you can tell after about the 3rd episode of Series 11, he just stopped giving a shit. And you can see that on screen. It's actually funny to watch. And Yaz is completely, Mandy Gill is over her head.
Oh my God, totally.
I've seen her in other things, and she's not bad. I mean, she's not, brilliant, but she's better than but she hasn't been given anything. I mean,
right.
I mean, her grandma got more characterization in Demons.
Yeah, I think the grandma should be the companion.
The grandma. I haven't seen Mandeep Gill in anything else, so she might be a good actor. But I'm just going off what I've seen. But yeah, I'm willing to give that the benefit of the doubt because the script writing is terrible and the acting is possibly a result of the script and the directing, all of which are absolutely atrocious. And we've got, I think we had one more super chat here to catch up on. I'm just going to refresh this and see if it. Yeah, so we've got one more Hungarian was a forint, I believe. Sorry if I got that wrong again. But once again, from Zeta Girl 1, why is wokeness so popular in the West? It really isn't. It is what I will call the elites pushing it. Like in my own country, I'm sure when I say the name Canada, certain things come to mind, including our prime minister, who just grew a beard to try and make himself look manly, but he's an idiot. But no, regular people are not woke. Regular people are too busy living their lives, taking care of their kids, going to work. It's the elites that are pushing wokeness. So it's something that's being imposed on us, but it's something that's being mass rejected by the public. But why are we seeing it everywhere? It's hard to say exactly why. It's elitist mentality. It's a way of talking down to the rest of us. But we've seen, and if there's one good thing that came out of 2019, it's that we are seeing a rejection of wokeness. I don't know. Maybe to finish this off, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm from Texas, and we eat woke people for breakfast because that doesn't play here. Like, I'm sorry, we're a different breed here. We're our own country anyway, basically. Yeah. But no, yeah, I mean, most normal people are not for that. Most people aren't for the whole agenda they're pushing. No. The media would like people to believe that's, that everyone's for that, but that is absolutely not true.
And Starry-Eyed Girl, the UK perspective.
Well, I don't think I'm in any position to talk considering what's just happened in my country. Yeah, it's definitely. I would say probably London's probably the kind of worst area for that. It's pretty intense, but anywhere like outside of London, it's like a different country. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, well, no, it's like that here because we have, like I live in Ontario. Our largest city is Toronto, which is actually now the fourth largest city on the continent, beaten only by Mexico City, LA, and New York. So it's a massive city, but downtown Toronto, and this also goes into the elite thing. Downtown Toronto, you have to be loaded to live there. Your average house, you won't find a house starting under $1 million now. Getting higher than that. Your apartments, you're looking at San Francisco level prices. So these are wealthy people living in Toronto, and I hate. Like I'm talking about the downtown area, not the outlying areas. But I hate going to downtown Toronto. And the last time I was there was I live a few hours away from Toronto, thank God. But the last time I went there was when I went to the Fan Expo to meet Capaldi at the end of August, and every woke stereotype was there. For the non-woke people, it's hell. But if you look at the rest of our province, even Ottawa, which is over 1 million people, which is our capital, even Ottawa, outside of downtown, isn't that woke. But anywhere outside of Toronto, it's the exact opposite. We hate this shit. So it's the same thing as in the UK, and I think in the US, you've got the hubs of LA and New York, but regular people just don't buy this stuff. And Noel. To give us the jolly Irish perspective, how woke is your country? I don't know. Dave Cullen seems to be somewhat pessimistic about your future.
Yeah, well, I've noticed our national TV station has gotten very woke over the last year or so. So it's starting to creep in. I live in Dublin, so Dublin City would be like London. It's because it's the capital city, it would be, like that. But again, like everybody said on the panel, ordinary people just don't give a shit. Ordinary people just want to get on with their lives. They don't care how other people live their lives. Once it doesn't start intruding on their freedoms and their beliefs, but that's what's happening. And that's why it's being rejected right now, because there is too much of this being, you don't need to look, if you live your life how you live your life, okay? Nobody cares. But it doesn't need to be front and center of everything that we're watching, listening to, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's just, there has to be a balance. And I think that's why, I agree with everybody on the panel with RTE, with ordinary people, we just don't give a crap. We just want to get on with our lives. It's the elites really and the media that drum up all this crap. It's a small minority of people, as well, as we all know, in around the world. So, I mean, look, it has to die at some stage. It's lasted a lot longer than we thought. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, but lots of franchises are after being damaged along the way. That's the problem. So how long more does it go on for? That'd be the next question, actually. How long are we going to have to tolerate this era of wokeness, let's say, or political correctness? I mean, just live your life. Don't care if you're a vegan either. Go, if you want to have a vegan burger, go and have a vegan burger. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Everything is just pushed in your face.
Yeah,
and
it's like you can do whatever you want. Like I believe in individual freedom. I don't care what you do. Just don't push it in other people's faces. I'm like, that's the antithesis of the idea of freedom. And,
that's it.
Yeah.
People wouldn't be so hostile then towards other people. Do you know what I mean? Because it is being pushed. If it wasn't pushed, people wouldn't care. Just do what you want. If you're happy, you're happy. We're all happy for you.
And an update: Blue Bonnet Hoovian is at $3.95. Okay, guys.
5 more.
We need
five more
subs. 5 subs, and we get to 400.
Go on, 5 more. Hit that button. Hit that subscribe button.
Hit the melee. No, that's the like button. Yeah, hit the sub button.
Trust me, you'll get the 5 now. Watch, bang, 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 bang. He'll refresh it, and it'll be bang.
I'm still fighting with YouTube. It's waiting to upload. But as we finish, this is how we know that we're on a live stream with the TARDIS Zone, because it's never 2 hours.
No.
Yeah.
But that's what we love about Noel.
We do love-
Honestly,
yes.
Noel is such a genuine person.
$3.97, folks.
Mm.
We love Noel. We love all of
Yeah, that's what I love about Noel. Noel,
you. He's so cuddly. Noel, where's Teddy?
Teddy, come
Where is
here.
he?
Come
Okay,
here.
now as we're about to finish off, we've got to get Teddy out.
Come here.
oh,
Yeah, I've got to finish with the dog.
Finish with Ted. Come here, Ted. They all want to see you. There he is.
Teddy.
There he is. Yeah.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Okay,
So
Blue Bonnet
cute.
Hoovian is at 404 subs.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks,
Congratulations.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Oh no, I better not sing that song. It's Cliff Richard's song. Sorry.
And let's see. So the Teddy channel, so 1.11, but cool, awesome.
Nice
So,
one. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
So everybody but Noel to close off. I'm kidding, buddy. I'm just
No, I'll just finish off by saying thank you for all the support, and I'll let the other girls say their goodbyes. And if you have subscribed to the channel, welcome. If you haven't, please get over there and do so. And also everybody else that's in this chat. I'm done.
okay, and we'll go alphabetical again. Blue Bonnet.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for subbing. I mean, I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm a small channel, but hopefully I'll be able to get more new content out and, keep going and keep growing.
Awesome. And my friend Starry-Eyed Girl. Yeah, I'm putting you in the spot. You get to close us off.
You are, oh God, wow. Just thank you for having me on. I get to meet new people. I mean, I followed Blue Bonnet on Twitter, so it's nice to get to talk to in person. And yeah, I'm just happy meeting these friends and having this experience. Because obviously I've watched you Balls Trek for about 18 months now, and I never thought I'd actually be on.
Oh, you poor girl.
Talking to you. So, so I wish it was under better circumstances. I wish
that would
we were raving about Doctor Who rather than ranting, but it is what it is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Like as bad as it's been, I've met so many amazing YouTubers over these past 2 years, big and small. It's been awesome. So at least, if nothing else, we can thank Chibs, Dumpster Fire, Star Wars, and everything else that's gone to hell for meeting all these great new people and discovering all these awesome YouTube channels, both big and small. And I guess to finish this off, so for the channel, obviously I will be reviewing that thing that's coming out tomorrow. In terms of when it will be uploaded, because my schedule is wacky, and when I do my woke Batman and current Doctor Who videos, it takes me about 8 to 12 hours to put those together. So my goal is to have it out on Monday. If not, it'll be out on Tuesday, but I'm going to aim for Monday. I'll just work all night. But anyway, so that's it for today. So I'll do my close off script. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to everyone here and check your subscription and notification status because YouTube are being jerks on this. Noel, did you just send me a message?
I did because I got sent
God
an
damn it,
article.
Noel.
I got sent.
You ruined my clothes off.
But hold on, I got an article that says Doctor Who star Jodie Whittaker on Time Lords and Enemies and has advice for her successor. So I thought it was actually worth sending to you.
Salon. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, so I'm just. Oh God.
See,
I don't have the blood pressure for this right now, buddy. What the hell? I'm just looking at this. My God, this is just painful. Okay. So now that Noel has ruined my day, thanks, buddy, and my clothes off. Okay, so yeah, so look up Doctor Who and Salon, and it's Whittaker. Yeah, I don't have. God damn it. Okay, so
go on, do your clothes off. You can do a video on it in a couple of days. Go on.
I don't want to do a video on it. That is making me angry. Okay.
Go to Lexi for a walk. That'll calm you down.
And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to everyone and check your subscription and notification status because YouTube are being assholes. And follow all of us on Twitter. And as always, everyone, Thank you for watching. Just for the hell of it, I'll throw this in. Solo lost money and Dr. 13 sucks. And have a great day.